ngaro na la wato kuma ta baki asira linga da fo ko nyi founding kila
hey elafta maboro la bank kalpo efa igiso SO na yuna jang ibadin kilalto kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet to si muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandrin nim fen jama isi sanno la yuna wallet to kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet to kono
alkana la konda no tay kafi yuna wallet anatan tolle bukan na balwo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo ne la mobile scan yo science ise maboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñin lonko e sandro ke yona enterprise wato wati ani la yona wallet to la e be lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono
alina nga kafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna bitikoto alinga kata nyin ko kentat na sulo fon lolu si sandiro kije se maboro fanan keje
moro jundi ana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda
Assalamu alaikum baadi ngal bismillah na Kerr Fatou programme to ngami nati jang aramisa murunta nan jang ko take ka cal nati mi yalon ko bankola kolom bayri ali yalon ne ko aramisa kam alfa nati jang pour ka kacha mimbe den nim bankola kola bi kacha we diara ba ke bayri bi nga NPP sala member so jang honorable Saihou Mballow is the presidential advisor of political affairs. Mr. Mballow, welcome to the show.
Abarka, thank you very much, Kerr Fatou, for inviting me to your show. This is my first time having an interaction with you.
With me. And very kabrina de yale to indiro follow kumas.
Yes, ngatonyi kumase. I call a spade a spade.
What is a spade a spade? We'll get to that. And of course, I have Mr. Manneh. Mr. Manneh is a regular member on this platform. Mr. Manneh, welcome to the show once time.
Thank you very much, Fatou. It's always a pleasure to be here, to have these shows with you and with your audience and viewership. Thank you.
First, I want us to look at what's trending. First, we will look at what is trending is that last week, every other week, I give update on the Aïssa Fati issue in Senegal. Minketa Aïssa Fati mi mugambe noti mi alonko yamuta Senegal. And for me, I have always advocated for what is government doing in this case. I'm not saying government should interfere, but have they even reached out to see that a Gambian is going to court and it's a high-profile case? And I still haven't had any report when it comes to that. Today, we want to update that Aïssa was in court last week, and checkle diamutale so coordinator already put apply chamfane nanang so that they can open their phones and look at what's happening. Hopefully, we're expecting this Friday there will be a determination on that case for that particular case. But we also know ko apply also civil case Mimbijang I have filed as a criminal case in Dakar. So Aïssa audition war fananale. We were told yesterday on Tuesday, she met with the procureur to look at the file, and the procureur, case Nimbe Jubele. there were a lot of things that were happening in that case. But when it comes to the goal and other issues, we're told the procurator said he was not interested in those because there was a private business. But when it comes to Mutola Kuolo, he will want to see when this guy is claiming this was done in a business issue, he's going to investigate. So whoever can prove either give loyalty or ndoya ngadi business lela. So one case fanambijele. So now it's like 2 cases that she's dealing with in Senegal. But the other case me along about the nude picture one, Friday they're going back to court. Now, Mr. Mballow, as government's president spokesperson, president advisor, do you know anything about this case? Do you know if government has done anything about this case?
Well, I mean, Fatou, thank you very much. I mean, Aisala case, like any other case, many Yalonko, it involved Gambians. Our responsibility is to monitor.
Okay.
Because we have Gambians all over. Likewise, other countries have people, citizens, their citizenry in this country.
Yeah.
So we cannot interfere in cases like somebody who is accused criminal. I understand Isaac case emanated from here.
Yes.
I was following that case until recently when I heard that they have opened an other case in Senegal, Dakar. So what we can do is, and we are doing is, to make sure that our foreign ministry monitor the activities and also issues that involve Gambians worldwide, and they are doing it right now. But we cannot, like I said, we cannot be interfering like people cases, like criminal cases, whereby we don't know. It is before the courts. Anything that is before the courts, we cannot interfere. You know that. That's we will prejudice it. Just like other citizens who are here, like Americans, Senegalese, British, when they have a case here, the responsibility of their embassy is to monitor the case, to see that justice is done. That's what we are doing. In
trying to monitor the case, at least they will try to see if her rights are respected and by check on. As far as I know, I have checked with the family, that has not happened. So how is the government monitoring the case? Just by looking at it at the media? Is that what you call monitoring?
Well, Fatou, don't remember we have embassies outside, not only here.
Yeah, I'm saying the embassy in Senegal.
Of course, they are monitoring. Do we want them to go and tell people, to go outside and say, we are monitoring, we are doing this? It is their responsibility. They have intelligence. All ministries have intelligence. I don't know whether you know that. Even foreign ministries who are here, who are residents of this country, they have intelligence. Who will sit down when citizens are involved, they go and sit there and observe, monitor, and report. But they don't need to do that openly come to Kerr Fatou or go to Paradise and say, our citizen, this thing happened. No, you don't have to do that. But you have a channel of reporting, professionally and also protocol-wise. That's what they are doing.
And they are doing that?
Of course.
Okay. Mr. Manneh, Mballow Koiba, they are monitoring the case. We spoke about this the last time. We expect that government will reach out to the family. I haven't seen that. Or even go check with her, make sure father rights are respected, because this is a high-profile case. Do you think, are you satisfied with what Mr. Mballow mean for intended?
I have my doubts, because when he tells me the foreign ministry is monitoring, I want to know what monitoring entails. Because the essence of having diplomatic representation outside the country is that the Gambians are being protected and followed, and all their rights and attributes really complied with in that country and respected. So a foreign ministry would normally tell the embassy. In fact, the embassy doesn't even need to be told. The embassy knows that when a Gambian is in judicial trouble in a country abroad, you go to the judicial authorities. You go to the prison, if this lady in this case is held in prison. You go to the prison, you meet with her, you request her through the diplomatic channels, and you go meet the person. Find out what is the issue. Is his or her rights being respected? Does he or she need any assistance? If he or she needs assistance of a lawyer, or if he or she is not happy with the lawyer assigned to her in this case, you assist, you provide a lawyer, and the family would refund the Gambia government for that. Because it is being a private matter, the Gambia government would not foot that bill, but at least you would provide that judicial assistance to that individual. You would go and meet with her, find out what is the situation. If the rights are not being respected, you take it up with the government.
Yeah.
If the rights are being respected, but the judicial representation is not what she wants, you assist. If that is if it's properly represented in court, fantastic. Then you monitor. But there are these preliminary stages that you go through before you go to the monitoring stage. I would want to know whether the Gambia government and through the Gambia government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Embassy are doing that for that family. I hope they are. So only, maybe Aisha Fati's family can tell us whether that is being done. That is what usually happens, and that's what you expect from the Gambia government. They are not going to intervene in the case directly because the case is before the courts, but they have that duty to the Gambian citizens abroad. So I hope they are doing that. So the family of Aisha Fati should confirm that.
Yeah. Okay, I think we will leave that to the family to see if
well, I think that is very important for the family. I mean, we cannot decide, we cannot say.
I think I have checked with the family, but I don't want to speak on their behalf, but that has not been done. I can confirm that.
You don't know what happened today, within the 24 hours.
Yes, I don't know that.
I
don't know what happened last.
You don't know whether they have contacted our ambassador. Actually, I don't want presumptions.
Okay.
I want somebody to exactly get your facts correct. That's why I said we have relevant embassies that is responsible in Dhaka. And I know the channel of communication and also relation
has started.
Whatever happened to Gambians over there, they will relate it to the ministry.
Okay.
So I don't need to be informed about that because there is a specific ministry for foreign for diaspora. Okay. So they will get the information. We have done that in the past, Fatou. You have seen Gambian repatriated recently in other countries who were troubled, who were calling for help to the Gambian, for the Gambian government to help. And they helped. They intervened, they repatriated them, they brought them back to their country. So we will do that. If we can do that in a massive way, what would stop us from doing it for an individual? We will do it.
You will do it?
Yes.
All right. We hope that takes place because that is very important. Every Gambian life matters and they deserve the protection from their government. Now,
but can I just say that in the repatriation of Gambians from abroad, you have to distinguish between two situations.
Okay.
The situations of those, for example, in North Africa, who were being attacked, who were in difficulty, and who took days, sometimes weeks, for the government to get in touch and repatriate them. We have seen those cases.
Okay.
And most of the time, it's IOM, International Organization of Migration, which takes the lead. And the Gambia government subsequently follows. We have seen the case of the immigrants being deported from Europe, particularly from Germany. Some of them have gone through horrendous treatment with very little support from the Gambia government. And that is not acceptable. So I think I need to make those two distinctions, and the Gambians are aware of that.
And let me make that very clear to Mr. Manneh, that that is the way of intervening. A country, Gambia, cannot just jump into North Africa and go into every hamlet and start picking people. That's why we have this IOM. Even here in this country, when something happens to their citizens, Guineans, Sierra Leoneans, that's why we have them. They would make sure that they get them together, put them in give them shelter, and then the communication starts with that relevant country where they are from, and that's what we did. We don't need to. Do you want us to go into North Africa and then we start having problems with there is a government, a legitimate government, just like our government. So we have to do that diplomacy first, and we have done that. That's why we did the funding with the help of other organizations. Other countries also the same thing, Mr. Manneh. When something happen here, they will not jump into this country and use, even American, they will communicate, British, Swiss, they contact the Gambia because there is a government that we have our citizens, we had that so and so, we want your help. Let's coordinate. We want to get them out, or they are involved in a court case. We want to do it, and that's what we did diplomatically. So you cannot blame the Gambia. The Gambia government. We did what we are supposed to do in the right way.
I happen to have lived in North Africa for 11 years, and I was privy to some of these things happening. And the cases where the foreign nationals, particularly West African migrants, got into difficulty, I knew personally of cases where the Ivorian embassy, the Senegalese embassy, and the Guinean embassy got their people got in touch with the Ministry of Interior and Foreign Affairs, and they sent out delegations with those ministries' people to the locations where their nationals were, and they were brought to the embassies with the support of the local authorities of those countries, particularly in the case of Tunisia, where I was resident. They would go with the authorities, rescue those individuals, bring them to the ministries, and from then they would organize flights back home. Sometimes they organized the flights themselves, they chartered the flights. Sometimes they worked with IOM and chartered flights and took these people back. But they intervened directly with the local authorities, and the local authorities would assign security officials with them, to them who went with them to get those people from their different locations. Because you remember that a number of these people, this has been a question of life and death. Some have been beaten to death. Some have been hacked with weapons, knives and the like. They went to horrendous treatment. And also, when you do all of that, you lodge a diplomatic complaint with those countries that it is not acceptable that your nationals are treated like that in their country. And when I was in North Africa, each of those countries I mentioned immediately lodged complaints with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and through them to the Ministry of Interior and the Prime Minister's office to complain about the horrendous treatment meted out to their citizens. That does have an impact in the sense that the governments at one point will send their people out there and try to temper the situation, because you do not want your government to be in the spotlight in that negative way, because you also have nationals in other countries.
Yeah.
So when the governments intervene with the foreign ministry and others, that has a very beneficial impact on the citizens of the countries concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's.
Yes.
You want to come to that?
Yes, I want.
Okay.
I just want to. I just want to
come back to that.
Let Mr. Manneh know that we have done almost the same thing.
Okay.
With all the cases that we have done, repatriating our people, that's the steps we did, and we made sure that we do the funding. We bring our citizens safely into this country. That is the same method. We use the same diplomatic manner. Although I have never been in North Africa like him, but I have traveled extensively throughout the world, and I have worked with international organizations of such, dealing with such matters, and I know the method of approach that should be taken. The Gambia government has done the right thing, and on the side of respecting the human rights of those individuals, I think Gambia today, we are on record that the Rohingya case that the whole world is talking about, Gambia is spearheading it. And we are trying to make sure that justice is done, Rohingya people have justice. So that's a record for the Gambian people. We cannot afford to be seen as neglecting our citizens or, ignoring where human rights violations are existing.
We do applaud the Rohingya case.
Yeah.
Everybody applauds that for the Gambia.
That, yes.
And we are proud that our country did that.
Leading that,
That is absolutely right. But that does not deter the government from doing other things that are required in the area of our citizens.
Yeah.
And we had the deportees coming from Germany, the horror stories they've been telling. And I've been in touch with people who are on the ground in Germany. So we know what has been happening there.
Yeah.
And we know the difficulties we are having in this country with visas from Europe because of the lack of reaction or appropriate reaction from this government in relation to those deportee cases. That's why we're having all the issues with the Schengen countries, which is being settled gradually now, and I hope we continue doing the right thing there.
Okay. Now let's look at the other issue, which is going to be the main topic, that is the president's, how do you call it, the industrial tour.
Okay.
Saihou Mballow.
Yes. No problem.
President Barrow tata industrial tour. Kaloptano lere, kata farol jube, kanakol jube. Take us through President Barrow la nyinto atata munela exactly. Atata mintola na ay muneji an muneketa ay munetara banko kam banko dingole munefay nga commence woto.
Abarka Fatou. I mean, first of all, His Excellency President Adama Barrow.
Yeah.
I told Kumase on Tuesday on the 14th of May.
Yeah.
Kombok Jang, we're in the West Coast area. Woto Woya Samba in Kitty. Our first point, first visit point was Kitty, a village called Kitty. Atata je pour ka steel company jube. Steel company men yalon ko sign ni rotol. Ika wole dada je sign thing. Ika men je on construction men be caring mol kamen odanu. Company soto jang. Adun his government wole as far as it all the munjati golti is very important for president ya jube mol membe do ko laje gambenol membe do ko laje the level of progress work company membe established in jang abita kan nyame so he took that opportunity I mean at the fango atata for I work company je I mean wo bita kan anyama atata fana sambuya wo fana fam do bije sambuya mel bije ku jamale bije me yalla ko domoro fengol ibe wole garden kan je sign you know a manke ko mole ya reportai ate fangole tata pour ka je a fangoy kabir abota je fanan atata an other place sukuta women's market membi je yalon wo market kabir tol nga wo tara janne wo dia mo siata mol ba fola ko mo musol manyan na taraje nteka mem moy wo wato I was in United States I was in New York City but I used to have nka moynu mol ba fala ko ni tata je salle ka funtima kudol tol fanga nyini karo ke what is stopping people from occupying that market but iko sewni mol tata je salle ka funti marila so wala atin president fango tata foje ani musol kachata mune be caring to get the real story to see for himself and kabir abotaje fanang atata to Malik Mendi tailoring store in Bakau. Malik modole bije me yalon ko Gambia nolem. A tailoring workshop le soroje Gambia din jamale be employing je abe doku nyima kekan. So President Yajeko is very important, it's an encouragement. I mean pour ay taje ay futaje a encourage ko ibe menna if you can even extend it. Dulal to taring like other regions wo kumaya tabaki because ibajela ko I mean na youth jama they will gain employment they can gain skills kabir abota je atata fanang Bakau Ida's idea atata je fanang afango atata ka je visit ani wol kachata for aje membe caring je a similar thing fanang atata somebody enterprise wobe kani finjam inte fan kabita je surprise ta Fatou Gambia na lemu ye company dada ni woli sol ikamen order from sign ikamen order ni be travel kan ikamen order from order foreign country sign you don't need wobe wo dada kan Gambia no line no lemu jan for up to almost jan from be dodo Gambia dindingol they are all be assemble kan dolbe posirola dolbe screw kan woli solbe dada kan jurmol you can order tons of woli sol sign briefcases every type about dada kan je president fango dunta je ani dindingol enyoje ani dindingol you know kachata and they express ni ite fan left I will advise you to go and see you will be surprised ntenene malon ko bija this was the first time so atata je because it atele his government already wole encouragement di wala pour investment ke bari anene mantaje but he see it on paper but aje ko this is an opportunity at fang aje what people Gambians are doing what investors are doing in this country afutara je ntol fantara ntol be surprised kaje ko wobije kabir mbota je fana we went to the dry port in Bone Road pour kaje fanan jube we went also to Nasin Trading Center wo fanan be Bone Road to je we went and visited Wolfana ntara fanan Milling Corporation Gambia Milling Corporation je fanan je anyala wo he doesn't want to be told he wanted to take this opportunity at a fango aeta $4 to taring company be lowering damage to ani wole kacha jube jumanyol how many people employ je doko bita kanyami diningol fana idea moya they got the opportunity to talk to the president ka fay ko hambe doko la jang doko bita kan teng
so president tata ni industrial tola ni listo mi fo ni mu kombo droneti
no let me yes okay
kombo follow la nyinti atata santo to fana
atata santo to fana
lopitano fana yeleta
kabir mbota je alkamisa lungo fana tambe let me just summarize this thing because time tije mbota je because I know where you want to land.
No,
you are not interested in
no,
it.
I'm very much interested.
Where we are going to get I Mune for our political bill. Let's go there straight. Okay, sir. Kabira botaje alkamisa lungo fana atata dulal dolto. Kaje jube ya understand atata Tambe Dukunda farms in the Foni area, Kajebe Jube Ratville farm, Gambenol Mimbije, Wolfan Sulata, so many youths. Kaeko, we won about 800 youths. 100 youths. Purke employ jang. Farm Nimbe do Ikaeko president, if you can help us with your Ministry of Youth, youth all in Najang. We have a lot of Woli Kujama Itan Dialaje. Wobije Kabira Boraje Atata, Bell Bottling Industry, Company Dolem, Atata Mark Food, Atata Bakaf food farms, you know, IJB visit. Then Kabir Abotaje, Wuraro, Alkamisa Wuraro, Moltata Jahal, what's the name? Kianjali. Purkawo Lopitano Yele. Lopitano Yele, Moltata Kawo Yele. Lopitan, a very scientific hospital, very modern hospital. Health center. Amake hospital. Health center. It's categorized under a health center, but then a modern health center. Okay. The reason why I call modern health center, because the facility it has are very modern. What it takes to be a modern. Hospital. Because all this it has EKG machines, you know, BBJ, Kujama BJ Meyalon ko sign. Amanjare ni Maria problem soro. You rush to the you come to Soma or you go to other place. You can stay with it almost all men BJ. Hani wul sign if they are giving birth. Dulal BJ Laran Saba. Meyalon ko and midwife fanam be post in J. Meyalon ko will be to put everything. They have everything it takes to help somebody deliver. Okay. Atata fanan kawo health center yel. Kabira bota je fanan atata I mean let's say Jara Soma, forget about that one kawo Jumo yele because he contributed. Yes. For Jumo among other Gambians fanan main contributor. And they wanted him definitely to go there so that they saw him the appreciation core. He is interested in helping I mean the religion, helping their community with the mosque. Yeah. Kabira Botaje data he went to Tumanna Health Center, that was on Sunday. Tata Tumanna Center, Wofana Health Center, just similar to the one in Jali. Yeah. Whatever the Jali Health Center has, Tumanna has the same. And it was named after the former vice president of that region, Hassan Musa Kamara, who has served this country for so many years, from 1972 to 1977. Yeah. He was a vice president. He contested elections under the Kantora constituency, and he won on the Sadauda Jawara. They were together, and he was appointed many times Minister of Local Government, overseeing Ministry of Education, and also he was a vice president until the 1981 coup d'etat of Kukoy Samba Sanyang, when Jawara was overthrown while he was visiting UK. That person was the one who oversees the country to make sure Jawara returns into this country. If you can remember that coup d'etat, 1981, Kukoy Samba Sanyang. He was then the vice president. He was the one who stayed. And he was hiding. I was a baby, so I don't remember you people were little kids.
I was a baby, yes. So I don't remember a lot.
Sad, he welcomed Sad. He communicated with Abdou Diouf to tell Abdou Diouf that right now we are in control. We have at least a pocket of loyal field force. Then we didn't have the National Army. Yeah. We have a field force. He said, what I can assure you, Abdou Diouf, is we have a loyal force here. That is the field force that would help us. Right now we have gathered most of the ministers are they are secured. If you can send us reinforcement and help us restore Sadauda Jawara. Okay. So that
place was named after him.
It was named after him.
Okay.
It was a great thing. So he passed there. He went also he moved to other places like Mankamankunda. Mankamankunda is in the Upper River region.
We all know Mankamankunda.
Everybody knows them. Yes. I think even the little kids.
Yes.
I think Manneh also knows Mankamankunda.
We all know Mankamankunda. We all know Mankamankunda.
So I don't need to dwell anything. It's a similar thing. Who is
that named after?
Named after the mom.
Why?
Yeah. Huh?
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because the people call for it. They said, if you are Fatou, if you are here.
The reason why I asked, okay, go ahead.
Yes. Fatou, what you have done here, like opening a Kerr Fatou here, doing something, employing people in this area, the kids of this area, you need to be commended. you need to be restricted.
So I deserve a hospital to be named after me?
You deserve something named here, even if it is going to be a center, a community center. They will say, you know what, there was one lady who came here. He opened this thing. People were coming, big people. Everybody got support. He got employed through Kerr Fatou. So therefore, we are naming this thing after Fatou.
Okay.
That's the main reason. That's the only reason.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
And let me pass that again. Then we moved from Mankamankunda. We went to Sali, Kenya. Badibu. Also, he opened a similar health center. Yeah. Just like these health centers that I have named. They have whatever the other health center has. Badibu also has the same thing. He opened that, and the people of Badibu were very happy. He named it after Sirfu Mustafa Diba, and we all know Sirfu Mustafa Diba. Yeah. Sirfu Mustafa Diba was a great man in this country. He's just like Hassan Musa Kamara. Yeah. He has served different positions in this country. He has served as Minister of Education, I know. Yeah. He served as Vice President of this country. And Speaker. Yeah. Different positions, and he has contributed a lot in this country. And he passed away. Yeah. The President thought it is very important to give him that as a remembrance, just what he did to Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. So that these people will be remembered. Their name would never disappear in this country because they have contributed. So he named it after, he told them that he wants Sirfu Diba in that area. This health center should be named after Sirfu Diba. Yeah. And they named it after Sirfu Diba. Everybody was happy, excited, and appreciated it. And from there, we went to open a political bureau, our MPP political bureau in Kerewan. Yes, we have opened, we have opened so many political bureaus. Yeah. In URR, in CRR. We have opened also in West Coast. We have in West Coast under construction rather. Recently we have opened Banjul. Yeah. I think you heard of that. Yes. We opened Banjul. So in CRR. So also we opened this one. So before we come to what the President said at the conference, Mr. Manneh, before I get back to the President, before we come to what he said, this was an industrial tour, and the President went to see all these places. An inauguration. An inauguration of health centers. 5 health centers. Mostly the places that the President visited, these are private-owned businesses. The President took opportunity to go see the kind of work they're doing. I said that is a laudable initiative. If I don't know why the President was there. Maybe to look at, he said, to look at what they're doing, maybe to encourage them, if possible, give them support. If that was the initiative, that is good. But what do you think of the industrial tour itself? Because I think this is the first time we're seeing something like that. An industrial tour, somebody said to me, look, the President's direction here is we have to be focusing on local industries. So if we want to, if we want to make our economy stable, we have to boost local industries. I mean, that was an argument one person gave me in the government. If that is the case, and the farming also, don't forget about the gardens, the farming. You went to Jar Oil farms, the poultry in Sanya. Yeah, if that is the initiative, it looks like that's a good initiative and a good direction. Do you think so?
The initiative in itself, I think that's laudable. That's good. The name industrial, I have my doubts. Is it more an economic tour or an industrial tour? Because from what I've heard, there were only 2 industries. The factory for building suitcases and the one for the iron rods. And the iron rods, I want to know whether this really they are being manufactured here, as Mr. Mballow is saying, or are they just being brought here and fashioned and cut, etc. Because to manufacture iron rods, you need foundries, you need smelters, you need a lot of heavy industries. And you need to bring in the iron ore from somewhere, refine it, etc., to do all of this. I'm not sure we have that in Kiti. But if we do, maybe he can enlighten us about that. I feel this is more of a small-scale industry for what should I say, fashioning and molding and cutting the iron rods than for really manufacturing them here.
Okay.
So the name industrial tour for me is a bit of a misnomer. The other aspects.
But the fact that they are government businesses and he's visiting them to give them support, don't you think that also
That's
is...
why I say that in itself is a good initiative. That's what I started with.
Okay.
That's a good initiative. The trouble I have is, anytime a president travels on these sort of things, it's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
It's extremely time-consuming, and it's extremely detrimental to governmental work. Because all the ministers, all the advisors, and everybody follows him around to those places.
Yeah.
And heavy security presence. It's an extremely expensive thing to do. Do we need to put so much money into that? Couldn't the Minister of Health or commissioners commission some of those health centers? Does the president need to go to all of those? It's a question of prioritization for me.
Yeah.
Some of those places he went to probably needed the support and the visibility, and he's going there will give them the support and visibility. I agree with that, and I accept that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's all the other places he went to.
Yeah.
Anytime a president moves, it's an extremely expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
And it's extremely constraining on governmental work. Because in our country, anytime the president moves, every minister available wants to follow and be seen there.
Yes.
Every advisor wants to be there. Everybody of substance in that government wants to be there.
Yeah.
And then you have a huge security presence. All of that costs a lot of money. Don't you have better priorities for using that money? That is my problem.
That's your problem.
And do we need so many days to do all of these things? This looks to me like more of a pre-campaign than anything else. You want to start the campaign? It's open to everybody. We go ahead and do the campaign. That's fine. But don't disguise a campaign on an industrial tour, which is not. And you don't need so many days to do all of these things and cost the taxpayer even more money for that sort of thing. You see, I do understand that the president going to certain places will give those industries, as they call it, or those businesses will give them visibility, will give them high profile, and attract people to them. That is good.
Yeah.
What I have a problem with is the amount of money
that is being spent,
being pumped into these sort of activities.
Mr. Mballow.
And I think that the advisors should tell him a bit more. Mr. President, can you do this differently?
Yes.
That is their role.
And go and come back. Mr. Mballow,
yes.
I mean, I think Mr. Manneh is right in that aspect. I am all in for, you know, when the president visits you, that right there, you calling all these names here, right there is advertisement for them. Because the president was there, the cameras were there, the media was there. I didn't know about this suitcase factory. You just said it. That is visibility right there for that, and I'm all in for that. But we all know also that when the president travels, especially for days, the minute the people store, we have seen what happened. The money that is even allocated to it is exceeded, because when the president travels, that is the president of the country, is going to cost a lot of money. That money that has been spent on this store, if that is given to one of those people that the president went to visit to enhance their productivity, to enhance their business, that would be more productive than just going around with Saihou Mballow and Sankare and Fatou Toure and everybody. Wouldn't that be the right thing to do, rather than ye okodotarek ya beke padie munait alawan sol nim fenkolti? What do you think?
Thank you. First of all, let me correct that by Mr. Manneh saying that all the advisors and all the ministers. I will tell him that, let me correct that. It's not all the ministers that were in that industrial visit.
How many?
And also the inauguration of the 5 health centers. I can name you the ministers that I saw there. Ahmad Ba was not in that tour. I can name you many ministers who were there.
How many?
The Minister of Health was there. I saw the Minister of Health. I saw the Minister of Agriculture. Agriculture, by the nature of the ministry or the visits, obviously the agriculture should be there.
Yes.
I mean, to guide the president about those farms, gardens, what contribution has government done. It is, I think that is very necessary for the minister who is responsible for that ministry to be president. Minister of Health, automatically, we all know, he is the one who is heading the Ministry of Health, hospitals and
Can you just give us the numbers? The numbers will help.
Hospitals and district. The ministers that I saw there is there were about 5 ministers. And also advisors. The advisors who were there are about 4 advisors to 5. Musa Jen didn't go, Dembo, but I can name so many people didn't go. They didn't have the time to do. It was minister of like me, who is the special advisor on political affairs. I was there, and also my deputy Dusano was there, and who else? Who else also on other areas that was there?
Now, was it necessary, like what I said, would it not be right, Kodomimbe Dunta Tonyingo, Kono, industrial Toto, Neotayadi Fatou, Kerr Fatou to enhance? I'm able to empower more young people in this business. But I'm able to expand as a young Gambian.
No, I don't think so. Fado, listening encouragement is very important in human being.
Yes, I agree.
Even kids, our kids, motivating our kids.
Yeah.
You understand? It's very important for a child. Reinforcing the child. Reinforcement. When he does something is doing good, reinforce him. Tell him, good, you're doing a good job. Good job. You are my baby. You are wonderful. That help make sure that the child would double his or her efforts.
Yeah.
And also, similarly, what the president is doing here, that is going to encourage other investors who are sitting to see what is happening in the country. Because the way some people perceive African governments, that they don't care. They can bully you. If you invest there, they don't care about you. They don't look after you. But if they see a president sitting down with Fatou, who came from Indonesia, invest in this country, or from China, or from Pakistan, and he sit down and encourage you, you are employing Gambians, keep it up. If you have trouble, don't hesitate to contact our the necessary ministries. We will support you. That is going to, it's sending a signal, Fatou. Don't look at, you are looking in the short term manner. Look at it in the long term. Who are sitting in other places looking at Gambia? The picture of Gambia is facing. That is going to help the president, what he did here. So many people now are encouraged, investors.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's going to bring more companies to come here and employ youth. Do you know when he came, right now, how many people have applied to invest here to do other things? I must tell you that. There are so many people who want to open poultries. When I came, what I have witnessed as an advisor, investors who want to open poultries up to Basse.
Now, Mr. Mballow,
so that is going to that's going to help. That's going to generate so many income for our youth, for our government, and also the people of this country. That is what we are looking for.
Okay,
can I say something here? The encouragement is very important. But what Mr. Mballow knows, I'm sure, is that the people coming to invest here are not looking for the encouragement. They are looking for the enabling environment that exists or does not exist. They want to know, do I have electricity to be able to operate my factory normally? Do I have water supply on a regular basis and affordable to do my work properly? Do I have a functioning port to be able to bring my goods in and send my products out? Do I have an airport that's functional? Do I have a legal system that is supportive? These are the enabling environment that people look at when they invest. We call it the cost of doing business. They look at those things. Do we have those facilities? Do we have that infrastructure, hard and soft? Do we have that? Do we have the regulations in place? Do we have the legislation in place? If they do have that in place, they will come and invest. If they do not have that, you can give them all the encouragement in the world you like. They will not come. The encouragement is important, but the bottom line is there an enabling environment to allow them to work and to prosper and to export and to repatriate some of their gains when they do, and to reinvest in this country? That is what's important to the investor.
Now, Mr. Mballow.
Yes.
President Barrow has an industrial tour. Taxpayers funded tour. Altata Badibu Kerawan. Altata Bureau Urology. Number one, that trip is not paid for by NPP. It's paid for by the Gambia government. So it is not right for president to go on a political activity that is paid for by the taxpayers. So why did that happen? Katu kukile nanga kilimfo. President Barrow ngajele nakata politikola. Aka NPP one le samba. Aka wole kenu. Muna nalmo continue. Muna nalman sila do wulinda leta la bureau yele. Because nyimu taxpayer funded triplet. Industrial tolo. Masakundale ajo.
Fatu ngamira ye famuta jail. The fact that you say president when he's gone on political tours, he goes with MPP.
But this one is not political.
This one is industry.
Yes.
An industrial visiting.
Yeah.
And also visitations, industrial visitations, and also opening of.
But why an MPP activity though?
Help MPP activities they happen in the evening, after work.
But on the evening?
No, after work.
But
they happen after work. Tell me the time you saw this thing. They happen when all work is done, either on Sunday. I will tell you here, the calendar is here. Either it happened when the president was supposed to relax.
It doesn't matter.
He said, okay, I'm free. Let me just go and cut the ribbon.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
The trip was funded by the
That is different from him leaving his duty work from Monday from 9 o'clock.
The vehicle that took him
listen to me.
From 9 o'clock to Badibu
from 9
is
o'clock.
Gambia government. The vehicle that took him to the bureau is Gambia government. Everything, all the logistics that was put in place is Gambia government. No, the president, number one, you ask the political advisor, you should have advised that should not happen, Saihou.
Fatou,
Yeah.
I think this is the right thing to do, to go after work. President is supposed to go to work. He should work from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
After that, the president has his right to go to exercise. If he wants, he go to the beach. If he wants, he come and see Fatou Network. If he is free, in a free environment, he can come and visit his family and friends. In other countries, that's what they do. President Obama and others, when they close, they go and play football, or he go and play his guitar. That is during his free, or Sunday, his family or friends go and visit him, or he go and have lunch. That is during his free time. But does that deprive him from using his official vehicle? Come on. That is something that he is entitled to. Those are privileges that are entitled to him within the time frame of his term.
Okay.
He has to earn his security. You cannot say, okay, now I am free, I've closed from work, now I don't need my security, I don't need my car. You walk out in the street. Who will do that?
Nobody should do that.
Nobody will do that, Father. Let us be sensible here. Because of you are going on your private or visit your mom, so you are not doing a duty, so you should leave all your security, leave all your car, and walk in the street. Who will do that? Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't.
He is free, 5 o'clock, he's supposed to go and relax, sleep.
No,
he walked and cut a ribbon. What is wrong with that?
Well, he just didn't cut the ribbon. He did a lot more than cutting a ribbon. Now, let's talk about
what did he do?
Let's talk about what
did he do?
Tell me what he did.
Okay, well, tell me what he did.
Mr. Mballow, President Barrow's speech at that...
That's what you want to come there. That's the... I know.
That's not the only thing we're talking about. We're talking about a lot. Mr. Mballow, see, I don't want to quarrel with MPP today because
no, it's not a matter of quarrel.
I'm tired.
We have a dialogue. And I like that. We have dialogue.
Okay.
You are free, we discuss, this is our country.
Okay.
What you are... Because...
Mr. Mballow, punch back.
Okay.
Now,
but you need to apologize.
I don't have to apologize. I did not do anything wrong.
The statement you made, video. Let me play the video for you.
We'll play it. We'll play it here.
You play it.
No, let's start first.
You misquote the whole video.
Instead, the Ministry of...
You went on mentioning Talib Bensouda.
Ministry of
Talib Bensouda?
Now let's...
Who mentioned Talib Bensouda? Who? You brought about... Everybody was surprised when you mentioned Talib Bensouda. We didn't forget. Nobody thought of Talib Bensouda.
Saihou Mballow, let's...
Let me say, yeah. Fatou, where is he getting this Talib Bensouda issue here?
Let's talk about
No,
this.
can you offer... Is this it?
No, let's discuss first before you ask me to offer
the way we
apology.
are accountable, politicians.
Yeah,
Fatou,
that's how we are accountable.
You journalists, to be frank, you people should be accountable.
We are accountable.
If you say something that Mr. Manneh didn't say, you owe him an apology.
You know how many times
if you say something that I don't say, but I will don't say
no. Let's start with what the president said first.
Okay.
President Barrow tata meet the people tata la bureau yele in Badibu. Number one.
In Kerawan.
Badibu Kerawan. That's where my grandmother comes from, actually. So
okay.
I know those people very well.
Okay.
Now, number one, first, Mr. President Barrow ako NPP supporters sole ko. alla man sakundalo nyinti ntelom banko president kilnebiya which we all agree. I mean, President Barrow keeps repeating that statement, but we all know there's one president. Atolela President of Sirinjang. Nimi altonye luatinya. Ali Kelendi.
Bring that video, Kelendi.
Mbatu.
Kelendi.
Hani mbatu.
Kelendi, underline the word Kelendi.
Mbatu.
I agree with you.
No, Mbatu.
Ako. I told Albi Mansa, the party is in government. That's what he was telling them. Alkana Silang. And Ngamira Anyantoko. You know, I will tell you why I want Kelo. I want to underline the word Kelo.
But whilst you look for that.
Yeah.
No, Manneh, allow her to pull the Kelo thing.
Yes,
I want to hear the Kelo.
She's pulling it up. But while she pulls that out, so we don't have a break in the show.
Yeah.
You must understand that when Barrow assumes office, he is the president of every Gambian. He should not be telling NPP, "Alama sakundale be searing." Gambia lama sakundale be searing, not NPP lama sakundale.
Ilamoy.
Hello, Kelo.
Nigga politician ko yaani ne mo ne so nekk politician fo gagné politician do diamo do jang mo ne amna politician ko fi wax ako nga politician me ya lon ko ma sa ko do kula me ya lon ko mo ne politician ne nem fi wax mo ne ngi do ko le saboté te ñu ngi saboté su ni ga ko bo ñu ko oppose ako ñande bayla mo ne dañ leen wara dakh ako do ka ngeen di lol mo ne ñena ñi di saga anga wulle na lo wol be ñu dama wara taxaw ci lool ba ko ko ba ko tontu dama sa kunda ko suma mbiri so bi do mo wala ko kuma yaala be saboté do la ya saboté do na do ko le mur la ko ma ni ngi gade lo be bayla le ra sarada bari ndaw indi ni ko le ko waaye ma xamal waa NPP ne am ma ñana si lan na de bu ne bu leen ragal dara am delo ma sa di de yéen ay nguur gi am delo ma sa kundari de yéen amee nguur gi ci leen baro lañu be kenn wala leen baro lu mën a def yépp ni moome yàlla nan yàlla ko yaay lu waa tiña ma ne koo xam ne tooñ na leen mu yàqal lu waa baale bambana le kelo ke mbal ko mu taxaw leen
ale bomba ale kelo ke mbal ko
let me tell you
ikaman kelo
no mbatu ngako ale kelendi mbatu de that's why I say underline that ale kelendi let me tell you you are you how many times we are saying that we fight in Jammeh? Does that mean that we fighting physically? Do you hear me? I have been fighting. Does that mean that did I ever exchange a blow with somebody? But there are methods of fighting. You're right.
But Niko ye kelendi fanan does not mean that you are fighting physically.
Oh, you fight ali law al kana silam ko mbesilandine. That's what he means here. Amake ko ale kelendi. No, amake kelendi.
Ali kelendi.
Yeah, exactly.
When you said among Kelo.
No. Let me tell you grammar. Let me tell you, this is Mandinka grammar. Ninko ni nata jang ko faru. No, okay. Sai ni nata jang loda ikonye ko Saihou Mballow. Ndeme jang be interview la bari ngam for wodon be lola. Ndefana loda. I'll fight. Amake ko be Hitler. But I'll fight ko Fatou as far I have my right. Freedom of speech. Ndefana be diamula. Am I not fighting?
Mr. Mballow.
Sego, let's even say
which president will tell people go and exchange blows?
That's what he said.
No.
That's what he said.
Can I come in here?
That's why I said to you.
This is the second time the president is saying
exactly.
this.
Exactly.
This is the second time.
That is fight your right.
First time he
fight
said
your right.
During the campaign of the mayoral campaign.
But Kabiru Okeda.
The following day, UDP ani NPP supporters will benta at ndinina nene Frida Nyol ani Aisha Nyol ini benta jotete keleta itate samba majum office to yesoronje mobe o karamta jena statement sol isuta 2 days before the election. I think day before election.
Day before the election.
And the president said the day before
police officers only.
The same thing kote ke president ngonyim for nin kumo yalong. Every time when the president speaks, we listen, because that's the president, number one citizen of the country. Saihou Mballow, ngatunya funyoe. Natra no opposition no doye nyufono nga call out nyami ba call out wala nyam. Because you know the president is ntol bela boss atilon ntol bela president. moto wotano labul bari nako ala supporters ole ko allo ali
haji al karate
president mo be mun tolbe mala dimbayalti akati ko bi tolbe mu president wala dimbayalti
of everybody
mala dimbayalti
I will on wala tina
ka fanyu ndole ko
I will bring you a statement at the fang I will for Lamin ako I am the president of this everybody among the people
ya so ko jambi ni ko presenter so le ko alning cameraman allo ni al tonya ni kele ntango foye woto be na dimbal da manka fo lal kele pesa mo nyano fola and I think you should condemn that Saihou.
What he mean is stand for right and fight for right.
But who's right against who?
When we say fight for right,
his children.
When we say fight for right, there are many
precisely
methods.
Is the problem.
There are many ways.
That precisely is the problem because you have to go after
there are many ways
to try to clean up
fight for right.
But why should the
we fought our rights here without exchanging blows?
Yeah.
Mr. Mballow.
Let me tell you that. I can tell you, Fatou, stand for your right, fight back. A manke ko you go and take a stick beating people there. But you have the courts, you have the police, you have many ways to you can fight for your rights.
No.
Ni mo ko Fatou.
You cannot spin this.
Fight. Of course. Also you cannot just
listen.
However you want to, however direction you want to put this. Manneh, I know you are an opposition, you are happy, comfortable to frame this in a way. But you are an opposition leader, you should look at this thing and analyze it properly.
And that's what I'm doing.
You cannot just get up and say his word is to take and fight.
I've been listening to you. Can you listen to me too? Right?
Yeah. You are not, because you are not listening to me.
No, I've been listening all this time. You've been talking, so let's extend that courtesy to each other.
But can you take this from me, that the president do not mean that, and we move on?
No, I can't.
It doesn't mean taking stick of exchanging blows.
If you
can take that.
Okay.
If he has said that, we will say no.
Mr. Mballow.
I take that. I'll take that. But let me say, let me take that.
He is the last person who will tell people fight.
I take that.
Physically.
I'll take that. But why
physically?
Okay, I accept that for you. President Mafo, a physical fight.
No.
I accept it. Okay, I'll accept that. But why the segregation? Ni mol flobe mu la dimbayati. Muna neba fola nyundol kelendi.
Fatou.
Ni de mu dimbayati ila so kono se ko mbale teto fola.
Mbadu.
Idi ho dobi je lafta minna dolti bari ta fole ko al kele.
Let me tell you.
Hanna ya trebe so kola. Ibe fatala.
Okay. Oh, Mbadu. Mbadu. How many times ite jang you have been listening people saying that alga banjul marso jani, alga basse marso jani. How many times did you hear people insulting President Adama Barrow? Uncountable jang. For police ka kamfa famba falako. The godfather of the country. Shai mudindingol. Ike arrest aka foko alibula.
And that is tolerance right there. But the difference with President Barrow and those
people... But President
is the president of the country.
Come on.
That's why we elected him.
We have to be very reasonable here. We have to be reasonable. They behave like that. Go and bully Fatou. It's not Barrow. But I will never accept that for anybody. I'll close Tanyawonya if I am doing something because of Barrow opponent. Bully. That day, if you do, I lose my job or I will regret it.
Okay.
I know that.
Mr. Manneh, comment. Let Mr. Manneh comment.
Mr. Mballow is the political advisor to the president.
Yes, he is.
And what we expect from people like him is when they see something go wrong, they go quietly to the president and say, we messed up here.
Yeah.
Let's do this differently. If you love your president, that's what you would do for him. If I see Ousainou Darboe do something which I think is not right, I will walk up to him and say, Mr. Darboe, I think here we misspoke or we messed up here. Let's do. I would go to him and tell him because I love him that much. You see, presidential words have consequences.
Yeah.
When the president speaks, people will interpret it differently. Some crazy lunatic out there will hear would interpret as go out and fight them physically. And that guy would go and fight them physically. And he will end up in jail. He will end up in jail. And that's not what you want for that person. So the president has to be extremely cautious what he says. I can say anything. The president doesn't have that same right because he wields a lot of power. he wields a state machinery behind him. And when he says something like that, people will feel empowered to go and do that nonsense. And that should not happen. That should not happen because the president should be bringing this country together. He swore to keep this country united and to make sure that all the laws of this country are upheld and observed and respected. The same for the Constitution. He will rule without fear or favor, goodwill or ill will. No, this is what he swore to. So when you do that, you bring your country together, unite the people. You don't keep having factions. No. No, he's the president of all the Gambians.
Yes.
He should protect all the Gambians. He should make sure that the Gambians will man kele. But yenta fele ko ni milial tonyeng ali loi norma. Usienda bukol fumole luolo. Al loi norma alta police. Akana fwe al loi li bamba ali kele.
But if I say kuma ile president katel tam police oti. Atamu police oti nyadi. Akonna police oti ne kata no lo tap ne kata. This is what you fought for. Kabrin Jamaica for many banko marla 1 billion years. Aka for no lo tap no. This is what you fought for.
But you know iteni nte ngamenkele wala mu nyinti ko kamo muta abukata court wala family buka.
Ati drone kele.
Ngamira wala tina iteni nte balanta.
Saihou Mballow.
Alu drone kele.
Saihou Mballow.
Ani ka mo saje ko mari tocho. Mari futi ko tocho.
That statement is very serious. President Barrow tam police oti. Akonna police oti kata wot.
Na l'hôpital.
Unko fat.
Kenya hanin Kenya nkara.
Unko fat.
Fatal tam police oti.
Those are, I mean, those simple things.
No.
Don't behave like those oppositions me yalonko. Ani small thing. Ani kumari ko ngabena chino ani sububale domobi. You take it. Yaje abe bluff can. Akobia suboli do. Those are relevant. Those are irrelevant.
That's why it's important.
When the president
has to weigh everything.
President for kahanko animal be kachaka tenintenko fenkela bitiko.
No, that is serious. Now we are coming to that. Now we are coming to that. No, we are
be advanced politicians. We expect you journalists.
The reason why
to be very advanced.
For me, the reason why President Corona Police is very concerning. Number one, President Lota Jane political bureau meeting ota ko nim mi alonko yala bail revoke. Mba for the police ya arrest. And the same president when amuru akonna police. The police is a very instrumental institution in our country. Nim president cartel town police, the meaning he can dictate what they do and what they act, how they act. That is a serious statement, and people will have concern about that, Saihou Mballow. And you cannot blame us for having concerns or raising questions about that. As political advisor, do you think that statement was a little too much for the president to say in a gathering like that?
And to add to that, there were cases where he said,
I think
can I say something here, please? UDP call my manta wato na police oli kikan. Ya loko ko boto kuliyatale, you know, and he went on saying things like nim election o banda mbafa na IGP akana nyindinyi na moto jamule jam moto all of those things are anti-democratic. We fought 22 years of dictatorship to make sure that those things won't happen. And President Barrow should be well advised by you people that that will not happen in this country again.
Saihou Mballow, you live in one of the biggest democracies in the world.
It's your responsibility
for how many years?
To tell him that the Gambians will not accept this.
What do you think of that statement?
Let me tell.
What do you think of that statement?
Manneh.
Yeah.
Manneh, me, I see those type of, there are relevance, that there are statements that I should take seriously. I underline them. Even the opposition. Sometimes the opposition says something.
Yeah.
I know. Well, if they are happy during their meeting, you hear them say certain things. Do I need to take that seriously? I don't want to mention even some individual who has said something on people who are in the government or to the president. But do I need to so they are excited in the rally, people are chanting, dancing, they will tell you that we will do this to them, we will do this to them, we will do this. Are they going to do that? We have a rule of law here. We have law, we have justice system. We have democratic system. We have seen whereby oppositions, we have seen by activists, people taking the president to court and they win the president. They win government.
Yes.
That's democracy. The president will never interfere if he can accept that, if he can encourage that, independent of the judiciary, independent of the police. What would make somebody to feel that that is threatening, that I'm scared? What are you scared of?
We encourage the president
We encourage, we talk to the president all the time, and we know he wants to promote democracy and freedom of the media, freedom of the press. He wants that.
Really?
He wants that to be in his legacy.
Really?
Of course.
So why did he allow his minister to give 40 million to some private institutions, media institutions?
For a start.
For a start?
For a start. Who knows where the next time? Who knows where the next time Fatou is going to benefit? You don't want?
Because if you
no, just tell me.
I don't want.
To do
you
that,
don't want. On record.
I don't want.
To do that,
I don't want.
to go to the normal
because
policies.
number one.
Because maybe you don't meet the criteria. There were criteria set for us. It's not given.
What was the criteria?
Minister of Information is the best person to tell you.
The only criteria. The only criteria is what people chose. The president wants.
The minister.
The president chose them himself.
Fatou.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Fatou, the minister stated.
No, the president chose
there were
them.
criteria set.
No, there was no criteria.
You
I am not a minister. I was not there. I'm not a journalist.
There was no criteria.
You and I are politicians. You and I.
The only criteria, they are friendly to the government.
No.
That's the only criteria.
You and I advise our principles.
They are not friendly. There are other people who benefited. They are not friendly. I don't want to mention any name here.
But
these are my colleagues, and I don't want to say anything
people
about
who
them.
benefited. Some of them, we don't see them even at the state house.
They've got their money. They're going to spend the money, but you're giving them to them anyway.
Because
procurement.
Because they have fulfilled the criteria of the requirement.
What requirement?
What is the criteria?
The requirement, minister.
What is the requirement? The minister did not
I
say
said I'm
anything.
not the minister.
I had the minister here. There was no requirement.
Minister said it on television. This is what we put.
I interviewed the minister
You
here.
cannot defend
there was
the
no
indefensible.
criteria. The only criteria he said this is a start.
Start of what?
The start
the
of the
procurement.
project.
He didn't explain to the procurement and other things.
He said this is the start of the project, and government has the right to choose who wants to work with. His exact words on my platform, and we accept that. Government has the right to choose who they want to work with.
No, we
here
don't.
on my platform.
But you want to tell me that the government don't have criteria to select?
They have the ones they want to
There
work
was no
with. They have the right, and we accept that they don't have the right.
Of course, there should be a criteria.
They don't want to work with us.
The criteria is Fatou Toure might promote peace and tranquility. I might put that if I am a minister. I say, okay, now I have here $20. I want to put a criteria on this $20 for this journalist. Okay, Fatou Toure, the way I see Fatou Toure would promote peace. We'll always be advocating for freedom of.
But that's why you're getting it wrong.
And you get it.
That's why you're getting it wrong.
I say, okay, you get it. Maybe that's the criteria. I'm not saying that's what happened.
That's why
but there must be something.
Because that minister is spending our tax dollars, So he does not have the right to spend it anyhow.
Are these journalists not citizens?
Let me finish.
Mr. Manneh, you are a politician. You are looking. You are a government in waiting.
Mr. Mballow,
you praying to be a government. These journalists are Gambian citizens. You cannot just cross them like that.
So, but when you talk,
you might need them if you are in government,
right?
So you cannot just say what they got. They are wasting money.
You finish and then I'll come over.
Is that right?
You finish.
We respect every medium house in this country. Okay. Every journalist is a citizen of this country. Even if you criticize Saihou Mballow every day.
Good.
I'm not more a citizen than you.
Good.
So the way you are talking, it seems you don't want those journalists who qualified, who got this thing, to get it.
No, I don't. You know why? Because to get our tax dollars, all the media houses should be treated equally. You should have proper procurement for everybody to bid for that 40 million. So those who qualify for it, get it. You don't just sit there and decide A, B, C, D, E, F are going to get it and J to Z are not going to get it. You don't have that right. It's our tax dollars.
Did you apply?
That you're spending.
I didn't even know about it.
I didn't even know. You guys just
because
chose who you wanted to give it to.
Maybe it was an oversight. You didn't know.
No, but
maybe an oversight.
I thank God that I was not even selected.
Can I finish this point?
I thank God.
Can I finish this point?
Yes.
Secondly, when you do that, there are procurement rules you need to follow. And you guys didn't follow those procurement rules. So one, you spent our tax dollars the way you wanted to. Two, you didn't follow any procurement rules. You broke the law again. So, Mr. Mballow, we are in this
Mr. Manneh, you cannot just be a judge. You cannot be a judge whereby no case has been brought before you. You cannot be a judge. You don't know how to procurement. You don't know what was put in place. You just get up and say it was wrong. I mean, we are intelligent. You didn't see anything what the minister put on the table. You were not at the procurement office. Were you there?
So that,
were you there? So that means they didn't fulfill. No, what he's saying, they didn't fulfill. He was not there. He's not aware of what was put in place. He just got up and wronged them.
We saw what your people put out. The procurement criteria.
Before you judge somebody,
no.
You have to listen to the case. And
now, Mr. Mballow, let's move on.
The procurement criteria your people put out is what we have problems with. They put out procurement criteria. We saw it. Your people put it out and it is wrong. So, you see, instead of trying to spin...
But Fatou is saying that he didn't know anything. And you are telling me there was procurement.
No, after when the thing got exposed, that's what I'm saying. That's what
your ministry said they have procurement criteria which did not include publicizing that bid. If you do have a bid for journalists to come in or media houses, you should publicize it so that every media house in this country is notified. And every media house can choose or not choose or choose not to apply for that. But you put them on an equal footing. You give them an equal chance, an equal opportunity. Anyone who chooses not to go for that money because they don't want it, it's their right. But if they want to apply for it, it is their right also to apply for it. So you make it available to every media house in this country so that they can all bid for it if they want to bid for it. If they choose not to, that is their entitlement, and then you have nothing to blame yourself for. But you make it open to everybody. If you don't, you are at fault. Because you cannot just spend our tax dollars the way you want without our consent, without following our rules that we set for this country. You do not have that right.
Did you learn? Did you learn?
Yes, I did learn. I do learn now here, if you like it that way.
I must tell you that there were, number one, there were criteria set. Might be the other media houses were late to see the advertisement or the procurement rules.
You want to believe that?
Yes, I believe that.
Come on.
I believe that.
Come on.
And let me tell you, Mr. Manneh, there were instances myself whereby an open scholarship were done, even when I was studying in the United States. But I didn't see until at the expiration date. Do I have to blame those people that they did it wrong because they didn't ring my bell?
So you see, let me tell you, you even got it wrong here because the minister said it was a closed tender. They only chose people that they wanted. So let's just move on.
Closed tender. Closed tender. What? Closed tender. Well, that is vague. Closed tender.
That's what they said.
You should be better
closed
informed.
Tender?
Yes.
You should be better informed.
That's what they said.
The minister informed us. We listen to the ministry. The ministry informed us that there were procurement.
No, but they said it was a closed tender.
Criteria.
But they said it was a closed tender.
So that means you because you are not interested in what they are doing.
Criteria or criteria, whatever it is.
Us.
But it didn't
they
happen
only
that way.
chose people. They told these people, the people that they want to work with, those people were the ones they selected. They told them to send in a bid. That was it. Yeah. They did not open it to everybody. So that was how it happened. And they also said the list came from State House to contact due and due and due.
Yeah, but you told me that you are not interested. So why should you waste your time?
No,
but you still offer them.
You say you are not.
I'm not interested.
You still make the offer to them.
I'm not interested.
If they reject it,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
interested.
No, but because even if she was aware, if she has cited it, she is not aware. So why the noise?
What? You don't know that. You don't know
I'm
that.
not talking about just me. I'm talking about all other people.
Know that.
No, you are the one I'm hearing.
That's why you make it available to everybody. So if they choose not to do it, that's their right, and that then you are not accountable for that. But you make it known to everybody.
Let's come now to the Talib Bensouda. I'm interested in that. How did you come to Talib Bensouda, associating him with this Nar Bitik? Talib is not. Is Talib a Nar Bitik? We don't see him as a nar.
Oh my God.
I started saying, tell me, Fatou. No. Is Fatou a nar?
How many times? Okay, let me try to keep my composure. Now,
because me, yes.
Number one, you know, in this line of work,
yes,
when you listen to people or interpretations,
yes,
you bring in context. And I brought in context when the president said fight. I brought in context that he said it in KMC during the mayor, in Joshua during the mayoral election. I brought in that context, and I said that is why when he said fight again here, we know it's the same thing. The same instance for when it comes during the mayoral election, there were two instances. Borikoli stood in the platform and said Talib was a nar, that people should not vote for him. He said it in the mayoral campaign. Okay. And there was this Jobate guy, this Jallo NPP, one of the Jallos, the creators who was an NPP supporter.
Jobate.
You know, Jali. He also said it, that Talib is a nar, he is not, people should not vote for him. And this was on an NPP platform. In fact, Mallaghan flagged them, all of those three statements, Mallaghan flagged it as a hate speech, that was hateful and it was wrong, and NPP, the president and his team should have condemned it. So this nar ideology that Talib is nar has always been there, right? Coming from the NPP camp. Now, in this instance, when the president said, Patio dol bijang, akon tolla patio manke bana patioti. Ntolla patio mu pati serious ringoleti. But even before that, he said, patio dol bije, mobe yal ne kon telo NPP la secretary general. Ntelo NPP la party leader, ntelo candidate oti. Bari patio doli bentela ko kele janika ntela ko nyosa bantela ko la. Inyantele internal problem was solved. I'm paraphrasing him because dolba fula lafta kebala, dolba fula lafta dindingola. Let me finish.
I know.
He was dolba fula lafta dindingola. Things
fall apart. When dry bones are mentioned, all women fall ill on it. He didn't mention name. So where are you taking this?
No,
now?
among name mention, right? But we are all speaking in context.
Yes.
And he also came into Seiko, patio dolbi ntola patio manke bana patio. Patio Dolby referring to UDP. The reason why I know it's UDP because he said let me finish. He said ko inyante biro 11th of May. The UDP flyer that was going on ko inyante patio 11th of May akoye wo cancel because kabiri alon ka te kanale ya cancel because ila patio mu ila bitiko he referred to ko atola patio atolo monke bana patio ti nyunu niaje maile because of nar bitiko lo bari yalo ngafo mole abalaba na naro lebulu. When you say that, you are referring to the party in the context of you where you speak, you are referring to the party, and the person you always call nar is Talib. And we all know for UDP the argument of Talib trying to be the party leader in the Malwe Nyosa Wala Wala, we also know that. So that is why we know he is referring to Talib. When I spoke to the minister, let me come. When I spoke to the minister, he called me and he said, we did not say an implicit nod to Talib. To Talib's background. He gave a hint to party, but an implicit nod to Talib's background. Molefo. Mafo kako Talib nkako akadiamo minfo way chodiro ke minna wolon Talib la background ndol molefo ko ay chodiro ke Talib la background ol mafo kako Talib ngai chodiro ke Talib la background la yalo angale ko ka moy la ya understand kabri minister encore akonye ko ye ale min sa feten a wrong tale president mon Talib fo president meant to say this ngai meant or said ngai ko president meant ite la interpretation lo di president mi fo ntenga na interpretation o dial ite min believe tamina la wala nte la tamina la ta wala ngai ko akonye ko please ngai ko what do you want akonye ko ala delete ngai ta delete la. The minister never told me coffee time akafa kontenga apologize. He never told me to apologize. He told me to remove the post. Ngai ko honorable, look, if you believe that president Mr. Biscotle, go and write a statement and tell us what the president meant to say, and I will post it because that is right. Natran told nimu like luwa kono interpretation le yakuma ni baro jotete jan baro le yakuma nominate mbeko haninte fongo latal nunko yakumba mi nominate ase bondi nole ntol be latawol constitution e kudo fo yakumba data supreme court interpretation leke. So this is an interpretation. President said something. Nga interpreting tal ni ba minister interpreting ngai ko sai natri atol ko nyinom ngai ko statement o bondi nga post. Akonye ko mbe call back. He called me again. Akonye ko give it to an independent person to listen. Ngai ko ngadi 3 people lela, and nobody is giving me a different Ngai, now I am not going to remove this because I cannot remove this because this is what we believe. Now give me a statement. The following day, Wulita ngaje a statement obonde to attack us. Saying control incitement lankai ko. The only number one, the ministry misinterpreted. Ntolunga minfo. Ntolunga means of in the statement o kuntu fulati. Ntolunga headline o minke yo kuntu mindi ate tole okeje kantola meaning o fenge. That is so irresponsible of a ministry to do that. Kantola statement or a beginning day bondije. Ntonga me for the president mockingly calls opposition bureaus this and hints at a NAR leader an implicit nod to Talib's background. Ma fotende nko I hint to nyinela and woman wo hint nying wo not the career background la. Angale kamola nyinti. Minister mi alanko atemu university professor. I'll explain that he'll understand this.
Okay,
but he went there attacking us, calling us control of the incitement of violence lila. Instead of calling the president ka faye ko imanye na follow mole kele wala kina grauta ntolnga minke ika fontole incitement of violence. The president in that statement I minke je malo mune grauta oti compared to ntole statement.
Okay.
So that is why I felt like this government more after promotion sotola more after president ya faye do ko la first Kerr Fatou attack, and I told the minister exactly this. Ngai ko yala la man sakunda ko more after president ya promote rek ikata am bat Kerr Fatou attack. Ngai ko but at this point Nimium punch, like from because I'm a woman. I'm trying to work so hard in this country. Saihou Mballow, you know what it is out there in America. I left everything and came back here. Employed over 28 people working here, young Gambians. Minna 8-35 la mansoto. I'm doing my part here. At some point, I get tired of all of this. And I think it's wrong for a state ministry on a Saturday to issue a statement attacking my organization. Amanda was a minister from a personal page to I'm unprofessional. And I think more Gambian notijen talo ko wrong tele and it should be condemned. Hanna tran tole mistake ta. In Samba Media Commission oben commandilale ya rectify. But the minister himself coming out of to attack personally ka you're unprofessional, you're unethic, that was wrong.
Okay, can you allow me now?
Go ahead.
Okay, Abarka ini issue nadi. I don't think it can drag Lamin to Afutataje.
Well, atamita jail.
No, but don't.
Okay.
It can drag Lamin if you are trying to build mountains over nothing. This is very simple fact. But because it's a fanco, president ko narrow, and in the leader something of that sort. Yeah, understand. Talib is not a party leader, isn't it? For Talib is a party leader. Party leader Ntolnga Mellong, UDP. Wolemu lawyer Usain Dabo. He's the secretary general and party leader. Womu manding call it.
But
allow me. No, but who knows? Okay, GD, just allow me to analyze. But
okay.
Or Lima Bangfana, you go ahead.
It's okay, go ahead, I'm ready. I'll wait for you.
Okay. Ntenga Mellong. Memu UDP la party leader and secretary general and party leader.
Yeah.
Wolemu Usain Dabo, lawyer Usain Dabo, the secretary general and party leader.
Yeah.
GDC.
Yeah.
Ngamelong GDC.
Yeah.
Leader. Wolemu Mama Kande. Adun Omu Fulolid.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Doi. Ngamelong. Wolemu Halifa Sallah Nyol and Sidi Ajad. Forward.
Yeah.
Wodomu Suralesi. What Malum for Fulo for Sura Sala.
Yeah.
Wodomu Manding College. So ni Baroko Naro. I have not seen anybody follow Gambia, a party leader, Memu Naro Tijang. Unless you take it for yourself. Unless you associate. Italia associate. Well, at in a mall be a chodi.
Moment chodi.
No. Gambia no be a chodi ko. Atea samba Gambia.
Kamo yalne barobe minfoka.
Fatu.
NPP da Barakan chodi.
Fatu. Your medium. A medium you should always make sure you are very careful to bring facts. Pour more we tara ila medium to and they listen.
Are you saying that we are bringing facts? Are you saying that we don't bring facts?
You are bringing that.
Are you saying that we are not bringing facts?
Because this one is not a fact called Naro Talube. You associated with Talube.
No.
This has never, obviously.
It's a nod to
Yale in court. Yaje in court. We should always be very careful about court. It is a court for them.
Sekumbal.
Yeah, understand. It cannot think for wrong. Intenga willing a jump and call Fatu abentelem. Fatu ko Saihou Mballow beten. And you said maybe you just say full suta. I'll just give you an example. I just want to be hypothetical here. You go like you give an example. Ni full me yalon ko ten kantar la full 10 ni ten wrong. Mole wuli ko Fatu abe Saihou Mballow le nenika. Where can they justify ko Fatu? Is talking about Saihou.
Context.
Yeah.
Everything in this world is context.
So it's a ni aje ni dia mo be amanjare wala because mune atina molba fola fatu itele ko barola wo ay même fo tenten wala mu nyinti ko
I not to
bitik naro.
Yeah. It's a not totalist background.
Just like Bidina.
It's a not totalist background. It is an indication about Talib.
But Talib.
Number one. Jang nyim bitiko bankoka. You know, ngatonya forek. Nka fole sula bitiko, fula bitiko. Kodi ngole fo. And then why didn't Baro say fula bitiko? Because he had muna nama ofo. Muna nama ofo.
Sarahula bitiko.
Muna nama ofo.
No, but Sarahula bitiko.
Muna nama ofo. Muna nama ofo.
Min not a force into his thinking. Well,
and force
assuming phone ko fula Sarahula bitiko. Or as a full bitiko.
Number one, two things. More from me raise ninto. I see a lot of people raise that concern. Number one, manke bana banot. You know that word. I don't even want to say that. How people see that. You know, number one. You know the reason that's why molko nim president of diameter. It's very important. Manke bana banot. Anim fanang niko ila bitiko ikamto ko sula bitiko meaning ko jutun na ya mulungo. And sula bitiko cannot be associated with that. These are all the things fanang modoli mean bonding into this. I am not the one that brought that into it, but I'm saying I've seen those arguments, Saihou Mballow. That is why as political advisor, these are things I will raise with my principal. You cannot have these kind of conversations on political platforms because of who you are.
No, Fatou, as a journalist, as a journalist, Uniaje mo jamaa ye chodi and the ministry also ye chodi.
Ministry da NPP atol dam.
Ministry, because mole may expect wala mo nyinti ko journalist all they will transmit more their politicians what they are saying.
No, that's not our role. No, not misquote. Our role is to
deviate
from limit us to what you want us to do.
You understand the function.
Our role is not just to transmit info. It's to analyze and give it context.
This is not analyzing. This Talube la nato Talube pen suda la nato definitely ni manke analysis.
Okay.
Ni konu okay baro
you finish
like businessman or membije tenin thing wolba jela ko ye point somebody would have said F yes analysis ako because mo jamale bije fula bitikol bije ama wol mention ama sa hurbe abe naro criticize my be near war forum people will listen to you.
Okay.
But we went on point to bring in Talib Bensouda. That was very shocking to everybody.
To you guys.
Okay.
Now, to everybody, majority of Gambians were shocked.
No.
Did you have a poll of that?
Did you go? Did you listen to radios and look at people?
It's all over the forums.
Because
I can tell you that 60% of the forums, 60% of the forums, we are talking about this.
You are only on NPP forums.
No, not NPP forums.
You are only on NPP forums.
To determine that first place.
Of course, I can name you so many forums. They condemned. Don't find we are calling for taking you to court. Go to court. Ninjari have court.
Let me come in here now.
I trust the courts.
Let me come in here now. Some time ago, presidential words have consequences.
Yeah.
So president should weigh every word that he says. Some time ago, during the Jomai visit, his advisors will tell him, he'll be better advised to tell him to stick to the text and the script to avoid certain mishaps. President Kumafo, every word counts. So you should, that's why you have speech writers, that's why you have advisors, that's why you have your cabinet, that's why you have your Minister of Justice. These people are supposed to give you that advice and the pointers and hold you back. A president does not just get up and say what he or she likes, because whatever he or she says has serious consequences. Even at one point when you are just a majority or minority leader in a campaign, you are careful about what you say, because what you say can have incendiary consequences or not. So you are very careful. Mr. Adama Barrow was here several times on platforms where people were criticizing ethnic groups in this country, and he laughed about it. He didn't condemn it. His people from his party have been on Talib's back, calling him Nar and everything. Nowhere did I see in NPP anybody condemn it. And this is hate speech. This is hate mongering. This is
but Manneh,
no.
You cannot say it on president platform. This Fatou has just said that a Jaliba, Ako Jobate. Do you want to tell me what the Jalibas are saying during this meeting with President Yadim? No.
Let me finish.
No, you cannot tell me where a minister or where an advisor said this thing. He's telling me about a Jaliba.
I am telling you on.
And you also want to support that?
Yes, I'm supporting.
So what a Jaliba say at a meeting?
Look.
A Jaliba can criticize the president at the meeting. That Imam Kodo Soto.
Let me give you an example.
You are taking that to associate that with our activities?
Let me give an example. No. During the Obama-McCain campaign in the US, a lady got onto the platform and said to McCain, Obama is a Muslim. As if being Muslim is something wrong. Obama is a Muslim. He's an evil man. He does.
I was there.
Exactly. I was too. McCain walked up to her and took the mic from her and said, no, madam.
I was there.
No, I was there too. So you know, we all know what we're talking about. No, madam. No, madam. That's wrong. I have a lot of problems with Obama, and it's about politics and positions. But he is a good man. He's a decent man. He's a family man. You cannot say that. And he took the mic away from her. And that put an end to that. For the rest of the campaign, nobody attacked Obama on those points. That is what a presidential candidate should do, let alone a president. When you sit there, Mr. Adam Barrow was sitting on the platform, Ahmad Ba came on and said some incendiary remarks about ethnic groups here. He didn't condemn it. Dembo Boy Force did the same thing. He didn't condemn it. He should have condemned that. So when you have that in your track record, and people in your party are calling Talib Nar, and then you come out and say these things, of course people put one and one together.
Mr. Manneh, for Talib, you cannot tell me anywhere we are at a platform.
Well, you have the courtesy.
No, you cannot just be, because
you will have your turn.
It seems you are making something irrelevant to be relevant. Yeah, somebody, a Jaliba who will criticize Saihou Mballow at that rally, nobody does anything. Who will criticize the president? You want to make that relevant? A Jaliba, Jobate was criticizing that.
I'll let you make your point.
Those people say what they want to say.
I'll let you make your point.
I cannot.
Courteous enough to let me make my point as well. That's what democracy is all about.
Yeah, but when you make your point,
when I finish, you'll have your turn.
I have the right to interject when you are going out of the point. You are going out of the point because this
give him.
You cannot bring them to our leadership.
Let him wrap up.
You cannot bring that to our leadership.
Let him wrap
up.
Can you finish?
In a rally?
Okay,
how many Jalibas are in UDP who are changed? We have them, but we put them irrelevant. They say Barrow is this. Dew is this. Do we listen to those people? Do we make them relevant?
Okay.
No, they have the right. They can even
say any Jali were to come on a UDP platform and say that, all of us would put him down.
No, Joba. I have heard that.
Put him down.
I have seen. I can bring you video. I can send you videos where Jalibas are talking something bad to MPP people, leadership. But what can we do?
No.
Okay.
What can we do, Mr. Man?
Talking about the party and criticizing, that's different. But bringing
we have seen people in
what we're talking about.
Do you want to tell me that the people who are talking bad, all the people in UDP who are saying burn this, you are not? Did you take action on those people?
Burn what?
Burn a market. Do this.
If people are lunatic enough to go onto platforms and say something, we are not responsible for that. I'm talking of.
But you want to make that. We want also. You see the point now. You want to. You want to make that.
I'm talking of platforms. On our platform, if anybody comes on our platform and say, burn this, we'll get you off the stage. Because we do not believe in that.
We have seen the rule of law. We have seen people, your people, let me tell you. We have seen your people who are in your leadership going up to Canning Line, telling people that they are not citizens, trying to get their birth certificate. Did you do something? Did you condemn it? Did you write any statement?
Don't make up things.
I am telling you this.
Don't make up things.
You know about it. Ibrahim Adiba went to Canning Line. I'll mention. Ibrahim Adiba went to Canning Line until he was, the youths were very mad with him. They slapped him. I have the video. Did you condemn it?
You put that totally out of context.
Somebody who is aiming to be a leader in this country, you go to villages, you're telling them they are not citizens.
Let me tell you.
And you should have condemned it immediately.
Let me tell you two things.
If it was MPP, we would have called on the individual. Come here. Really? You have no right to go and
Did you do that with Ahmad Ba? Did you do that with Dembo Bojang?
Oh.
You didn't. You didn't.
Now let's move on.
Now,
Let's
anyway.
move on from that. Now let's move on that. The other thing that the president also said in that rally, Olonko, Ndelo NPP la secretary general, Ndelo NPP la party leader, Ndelo NPP la candidate. Saihou Mballow, Barola la candidate. Are we having a third term? President going for a third term? Katunga mwele ngaje Ismaila Cisse woko ako first term tema Ismaila mitoka Ismaila lote nyimbanko kang ako 3 years o fongo mi alonko Barola 3 years o ako that is a word for reneging on his promise.
Yeah.
Ako Barola manyene 5 years fongo kera. But it be the same Ismaila Cisse, Minister of Information ako afo coffee time la kununko ako momo ka afo Barola ko imanyene run la kotenge. Imale coming for I mean I'm not for exactly, excuse my language, but I mean for Wolonko, moment legitimate rights to the Kafu Baroiko imagine that time. Now I believe the 1997 constitution, I write the Baro Iron, I'll write Lord, now after on. But people who believe in democracy, you cannot tell Osco, President Barrow believe in term limit. President Barrow believe in term limit, and still, President Barrow run for third term.
Okay.
Is President Barrow running for third term?
Okay. Saying ipareta. Nimbe diamo itafara, you give me chance. You see, I give you. Nimbe diamo ka. Don't interject.
Okay.
Number one, you see me fonoe. Wale mnyinti code in 2016 election was a coalition election. It's a transition to set up how to bring about to set up commission to rectify what was happened, a lot of commissions, and then we move on.
And nothing was set up. Nothing was done.
UDP was a member of that. PPP was a member of that. They were ministers. Everybody. That was a collective thing.
For just 2 years.
What 2 years?
People were ministers for 2 years. Coalition of Tastale in 1 year.
No. What? No.
I might fight by. I farmer Tamba by.
By
and he took over. That is why he took over his government.
Allow me to talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I might party by. Does that tantamount to saying ala government bantabang or coalition? Ahmad Ba was there. Ahmad Ba manki NRP member. And no, Ahmad Tax. Where are you positioning Ahmad Ba?
Go. Coalition of Tasta.
Ida Carola.
Okay.
Let us.
Okay.
It left a minna. Let's look at it prospectively.
Okay.
Muniketa. Ahmad Ba, we cannot disqualify him under his party.
Because it was a coalition.
A coalition. It's a transition.
So you don't consider it as a term?
No. It's a transition. That one was a transition to follow. Okay. No, let me tell you. Term limit amantara jefa ni abijenu hani abijenu ko 10 years. We consider force 2016 for 2021 was a transition. It's a transitional government.
Okay.
That was a transition to correct what I think like they set up all these commissions. That's why they set up all these commissions to look at our electoral system, to look at our boundary systems. Model malum for wokala model nata jan sefol alkalol wobe keta I have the document pour ye wobe jube ibe o correct la sefiya be nyame sefiya nyanta la fala damen ani ko boundary be nyame wo watole it was meant for that. And Kujama Commission me yalon ko Jamela Ira 22 years to correct that system.
Okay.
You understand? That was the only transition thing. Barola na ala party la na Barola leadership ala leadership nata on 2021 a winter election. That one is a late.
So you know first time. The first time
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
All the other party leaders were they were all running the country. All of them. All the other parties.
Okay.
Barrow didn't have total control. He was with people. They had some disagreement, but he was not having the total control of the government. Everybody knows that. Can I don't pretend ko imalo membe keri.
Ahmad Ba is still there, so still not a second term.
Okay.
Huh? But what I'm telling you is Nindo Mulet. This thing, Barrow is in government, near lefter, saying it's a late Melia Sobo. Sumaila is there also. Sumaila party. Sumaila is 15 alliance, isn't it? He has a party.
Yes.
But because he supported this man to lead it's a coalition, he's serving. But he has his party still now maintaining his political party. Ahmad Ba is maintaining proper. Henry Gomez is still there. Henry Gomez has a political party. He is still maintaining his political.
Then it's still a transition then.
It's elect. No, what I'm telling you is elect. Transition. That is correction that when Bekeri and now elect party-led coalition is different. Mr. Manneh, you know it. Party-led coalition.
I'm asking if it's still a transition.
Let me tell you, this one is not a transition. We consider 2016, 1st December 2016 election as a transition to correct the system.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay.
Barrow sign at a time. He has started his term sign.
Okay.
Yeah, understand. Ni term bije, term limit bije. Barrow 2016, 2026 ni a lota. Ni 10 years wole londi je. 2016 ni a lota. Then wole munyintiko he has ni wole lota. Then ni a lafta lola molba for a bari sign ala party NPP. Then NPP was not existing in 2016 even. It was not in existence. Barrow man party soto owato. Barrow party soto a lot of election in 2021. Man, everybody knows that, the whole world.
No, I'm just listening to that.
Yes, let me tell you that. And the whole world, I can say it everywhere, and everybody knows that. But the Kabila Binakan, party Dole Nata, Joy Nata, my party, any other party Nata, Ahmad Bala party Nata, party Old Bay Nata, Henry Gomez Nata, Wole transition. Let us all come together now. We correct a system, wrong system, mentambita. Wole ketanu. Follow. Then nga banko nga jube. Then we go nga fight. Let's go and fight saying Party Juma Lebekela in power. What the keta in 2021?
Mr. Manneh, Mr. Mballow Yasene Ndile, 2021 long Barola first time, according to it all.
Yes.
According to him, yes.
2016 to 2021 was a transition. Automatically. 2021 long first time, and then the second time from 2026 late. Is that your kind of interpretation as a term for a president? No,
because when this thing happened in 2021, it was not a party, it was an individual. Well, then I resigned from UDP and become a coalition president, presidential candidate. So he won as a coalition candidate, and it was him that was elected, and it was him that got the first term. And it was him that was supposed to stay 3 years and organize free and fair elections and not compete in those elections and go. But he didn't. He stayed the 5 years. Great. He went for a second term. It is him again, because that never said a political party. It never said a coalition of parties. It said a president was going to be elected, and he was going to be elected for the coalition. So he was elected for the coalition. So he had that term. He had the second term. He ran again. We believe he lost, and IEC and Supreme Court connived to give him the position. So, but he's there. So his second term.
No, Manneh.
Second term. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. So the third term for us is irrelevant. Whether Barrow runs or doesn't run, we're going to beat them in 2026. That for us, that is the bottom line.
Any other thing?
Oh yes.
What makes you think you're going to win when you were not able to win 2021?
2021, we were cheated out of victory.
What makes you think it'll cheat like that?
No, because that's the thing. That's the thing. The system that cheated us, that system will not work anymore. We have our own infrastructure in place, and we're going to use that. You see, we did that because when we were cheated out of victory, we are Republican, we are constitutionalists, we are legalists. We said nobody's going to go out and demonstrate. We're going to go by the normal legal procedures. We're going to exhaust the course of the law. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court refused to consider our petition. We applied to them again and said, can you please reconsider your position? They said no. So we are not going to take that risk of being cheated out of victory again, and then we lose again because the Supreme Court does not want to examine our petition. So we have put in place the infrastructure that's necessary to make sure that the election results are the real expression of the people on the ground. And nobody is going to cheat us out of our victory again. So that for us is pure and simple. And when you see the situation of the country right now, what the Gambians are going through, you think they are so forgetful that they will vote for a government that put us through all of this trouble? When you cannot even feed your family properly, they will tell you everybody is happy because they are happy. They are dipping their hands into the coffers and doing what they want to do. There is so much mismanagement and corruption in this government, which is pointed out every day by every audit report. Except that the current Auditor General hasn't put out anything for the past 1.5 years. But everything that was there before pointed to corruption in this country. Everything pointed to mismanagement in this country. Everything is extremely expensive in this country. The health sector is crumbling. The education sector has crumbled.
Every week I can
10 classrooms.
Okay, let me come now.
No, I'm not through. I'm not through. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the utility sector is in the doldrums.
Yeah.
The airport, nowhere to be seen. The port, everything is going to Senegal. So we are going and we are taxed into poverty. So you think that the Gambians are crazy enough to go vote for somebody who has put them to all of that difficulty? Of course not. And we are seeing it on the ground every day when we go campaign. So we are not worried about him running for the second or third or fourth or whatever time he might think. Let him run. We will beat him. That's what we are concerned about.
Mr. Saihou Mballow.
It's as simple as that.
Ako man sila ni baronat. They will beat you. Banko da be kolea nto fon ko fojane. Tonya kurango da kolea ta buka soto. Ya lon kabiri muntu mambe sila njang kurango man soto. Mbe power bank le kotote. Kurango da be kolea nga buka soto. Manu da kolea ta tulo da kolea ta jabo nyimbanko kabiri baronata ni fe bite ma fenda buka ji na man sila buka ji. Mr. Mballow, how can you win an election in this kind of situation?
Okay. Abarka. I mean, Fatou. Nsi men fono Mr. Manneh. Ko ala diamo, he's dreaming.
Okay.
He's dreaming.
2026 round the corner.
Manneh is dreaming.
He's dreaming.
Pour Kamira okay, they can beat a candidate can beat Barrow in the 2026 election. Malong, what magical thing would they have for a okay? Because Gambianol ila nyal bela Barrow be menna. They have seen the progress, level of progress.
Okay.
Membe Kerry.
You call that progress?
Cairo membe
Progress for you guys.
Silol be dadaka.
Progress for you guys.
Silol men yalon ko bi. Mod be yaje silol men yalon ko.
When you tell us that you put
be a picture be
one
but he's
no. He interjected silently.
No. I never interjected.
You put 79 million in 2020.
Go ahead. Mr. Manneh, wait.
Go ahead.
Don't interject. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. I'm sorry, Mr. Saihou Mballow.
Ate diamuta.
So go ahead.
Gambenol nyabela barobe doko men. BBB certain dingol certain dingol. They are all get electricity pole baby jolong kandulal taring. Well baby go to Kia.
Bente master jam fele master. Kabin somanda.
Electricity everywhere.
Kabin somanda master.
No, but okay. You cannot be a fair judge.
Okay, no, I'm just saying my condition.
Because as a moderator.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
all right, I let go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
BBB. Amame ngamen fojam for health centers me yalon ko abejali. Wo manke is not a small thing for the people of Kiad.
Antonia.
Lopitano me yalon ko ika wulinu. Yena for Banjul. O ita for Dula Dodo. Wo saying you just wake up. Yeta. It's not a small thing for Gambia. Wo banko be saying wole be caring. School ibe upgrade kan. Dulal to taring. Ya understand? Okay. Ate be men for content corruption. The level of corruption men yalon ko UDP councillors or chairperson ye men control is visible to everybody. Moli aje councillors men yalon ko UDP government. Who will accept a UDP government in this country?
Council Juma. No, let me ask.
In the commission.
Council
Are you not listening to the commission?
No, which council?
The commission is you guys.
Are you listening to the commission?
It's your
Are you not
appointees.
listening to the
No,
commission right now?
it's Brikama.
It's your appointees.
It's Brikama. It's Brikama.
But actually,
No, I'm asking question. It's Brikama.
No,
every
commission they
Brikama. Okay, go ahead.
CEOs and finance directors actually appoint.
but I'm not allowed.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
For chairman, I'm telling a chairman upon. Men Borta in Basse.
Aborta.
UDP candidate, a chairperson.
4 days then you.
Ndole happen.
Honey.
For make UDP candidate, UDP chairman.
Chairman or UDP chairman or.
O make UDP chairman.
Chairman or UDP chairman.
Ima wo commission mo membe caring.
Go ahead, I'm listening. You can interrupt. Go ahead.
Follow. Banjul commission melbe kumase kam Banjul city council. Let's monitor what is happening at the we will we can invite more media coverage.
Okay.
On these commissions, what are happening in KMC and Banjul. Might be this is not well covered. We can invite more media houses to cover it.
Okay.
Rampant corruption.
You give them 40
In
million.
Banjul?
You give them 40 million
Rampant
as well.
corruption.
In Banjul?
What is happening in those councils?
Okay.
KMC and Banjul City Council.
When you invite more media, give them 40 million as well, huh?
Okay.
I'm telling you this.
Okay.
It is unacceptable. Under UDP leadership in these councils, they went on lavesting, mismanaging all those councils.
They went on lavesting? What is
I'm
that?
telling you this. It can fall, Fatou. It can fall everywhere. Near one sometimes it can panic the fact. How can somebody, the whole council of money, you open a private account? It can do DJ.
But what is the lavesting about?
But money, allow me to talk.
No, you have to be clear.
I mean,
Which council le okay, private account?
Basse council ya ke, BCC BCC okay, KMC ay work for mismanagement jamale bije.
Mismanagement, KMC fana.
KMC.
Okay.
We will prove it to the commission. We can reinforce.
You will prove it in the commission.
Yes.
Now, okay, that's
No,
fine.
let me just come.
Okay.
Because let me just prove we can win the election. Along at they don't care. Akeda nyawonya they will beat the Barrow in the election. Ate wo diko sodoko because more be battering tending thing. Let me tell you, nim bata men be keri. Dunia belu.
Okay.
Nim bata. Dunia belu. It won't make kumpa because you are familiar with United States and Dula Dolto. You see the United States, how many people signed in this right now, at this time, how many people in the Katara, they are on food stamp. New York City, Penko, New York City, Wole Marata ila Domorola, Wole Kela House.
That's what
People are
governments,
on, a lot of people are on welfare.
that's
right
what
now.
governments do, support their citizens.
No, men na wo be mune mo dundi jumale wo dua batale ka wo dundi. Ni aje ma foko me support. But what I'm telling you is just to prove that bata be caring dulal hani dulal banku men yalon ko
Awarta.
mo i wartale e nafulo soto e ku jama e natural resources soto. Ni wol fang na mall citizenol and in people who are permanent resident in those city countries wol fang be bataka. How about a third world country?
Mr. Mballow.
So that's your excuse.
Mr. Mballow.
No,
Mr.
Mballow.
Okay, go ahead.
Mampare,
So that's your
to
excuse.
prove election we are going to win. Because let me bring you the justification. Member caring, that's not an excuse for UDP to come to power.
Okay.
Just because of hardship, economic hardship, member world in the world or Gambia.
Mr. Mballow, follow example of Dojebang because presidential election.
Just recently, 8 million.
Presidential election. Nyim atol ale UDP dan jele wul keme fulani mfe. Kodi? 50 50+% IECM info. I mean that's the official. That's the official. Let me finish.
Yeah,
Mr. Mane,
yes.
You have the value of the people
Yes.
that are
Mr. Mane.
400,000 votes.
The value of the people,
400,000
not the
votes.
value of
You have to respect
IEC.
that. You are a Democrat.
Mr. Mane.
If you are a Democrat.
Mr. Mane,
I am,
let me
and that's why we went to court.
Let me come.
Accept it.
Let me come.
Because the value of the people call
Please, let me-
MPP Baroya Bute 400,000 votes.
Okay.
You have to accept that.
Okay.
Mr. Mballow, let me finish. In 2021 presidential election, NPP won with over 200,000 vote margin. Moma mira, but wala fintita results all, and we accept that as because it's from the IEC. Now,
Yes, you. Okay.
Yes, I accept that
Yes.
because from
Honey, will accept
IEC.
it.
No.
Your opposition will not accept, but
No, I
you don't
accept-
accept it.
I
Okay.
accept it.
But coming to the just right down few months down the line, mayor, not the mayor. What I'm going to follow? Okay, councillors election.
Legislative and council.
Legislative
National
National Assembly. Atol Lusta. I'm looking at the popular votes from 200,000. Right, UDP lost almost 25,000 votes. Out of Mille Katefa UDP in the National Assembly, 25,000 people will among vote ke UDP. Atol almost 200,000 people minimum Katefa. As a first time me along Karte win sign tenting you came out only with 18 to 19 seats in the National Assembly. It was not a very good performance.
That was a voter apathy.
Not
because more ya jeko lafta men na woso da president winter mandare fan pour ka
mbatungana ya ntol itemo politician or intemo journalist. I do analysis, and you as a politician, I'm sure you are also concerned about those results. Now kabruwa botaje altata council election la, the same trend continued. You're not making gains, but you're losing gain. Wabata J, Tata Deputy Kate Fayo, Mayor and Chairman election campaign. Ale the same seats, but popular votes UDP still yaldang at all compared to Ale Minsoto. If I'm NPP, I'll be concerned because you know in all these election cycles, somebody who won with 200,000 margin, Ikaji, and then for me, I attribute two things. I think number one, domoro da kuyatale, food commodities will be da kuyata, inflation rate higher, and kolbe kolare, and we don't see anything. Mi an ko man sakunda ba ke kam pour ka wo situation of fisiande. Mol buka mano domo. Mol buka mano ke domo balu wala ka adila dine wala. Mol food wala gena mol wala ka mol force consent. And these are things me as a family person or any other person, you know, the basic things you think about first is how to put food on the table. So do you think these were things I'll affect in those elections? And you think it could affect you again in 2026?
But before you give him the floor, I think I'm entitled to my turn now. You just spoke.
No. He said to me, he has mentioned certain things.
All right, go ahead.
Whether they will affect us or not. If you answer that, that's why you are taking my...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is me for no fact. War is very normal in elections.
Okay.
Menketa after the presidential election, more jama in the presidential election, monitor. Ko dia mo menka ke UDP ka kibiro menkenu ko itol they will win the election, it will winter mo be kam fata ko ngi batu the silent voters based data ko mbatu for carte no mi balon they came out massively to vote for MPP wole nyinat mo melialon ko they don't care even about election if utita ka vote. Let me tell you, some people ni mo jama benta iko nyoko te election buka voting ke bari be hammeri menna pour ka carte fay UDP be Bakukan Dulal to Tarin Koito, they will win Barrow. I will go and vote. Mojama Funtida massively. And they voted for Barrow. World Kabir National Assembly Keta. They don't care. Nitata Sate Java Bafolako, election time, told Hametanu Mena, Walla Munintiko, Barrow is CJ. Biting in Dolkonu, they can win this man. Itutala, Ekumo Befo, Wallatin and Tolfan Funtida Kakar. Imanson. Molman Kato fight. National Assembly council election for another. So many people may yalonko chatioto. They don't care. You hear in the interview. They man Kato fight. Well, but the UDP may yalonko ibe hamerunu ko poi palaso soto. Wol tata de make so ko hanimel be sasari lopitano. Ye nati ye bondi e Kato fight ye murundina. But in MPP we relax. Wole keta. Everybody was there. We don't care to go and transport the voters, to go and after them ko nying mukubale di alkana juru nyina de dibite anim fen ko ni ansuni wole keda adum we have learned from that mistake.
Okay.
Wote kela kote ni kati fayo nat we will make sure everybody, every hamlet momo be dawoda ni karto bebul you will go and vote ye murundi hani abe motorcycle tala ibita ibe karto fa UDP wole ke ijekuta mol la je
yalje ko wol
wala tina nyi so amake ko de a popular no mol le man funti pour ka karto fay alkana so yal money 2026 I will tell you 2026 say mol nyi je mol kuninta men tambita everybody will come out mol bele be funti la ka karto fay Adama Barrow.
Okay.
Ni win in 2021 wobe kela you mark it down wobe kela do mandima it's going to be a big win because Adama Barrow do ko men keten mo me yalon ko anata for dunia be OIC Organization of International Cooperation. I will host
it's not it's Islamic cooperation.
Anata I will host jang banko be nat banko
it's organization
of Islamic airport you motor jila jang man you'll be wole fokan motor jila airport wol be jila Dakar. How many airplanes
jila Dakar? 15.
How many planes?
15.
How many 2 planes or 3 planes don't jila Dakar? Or be jita jang.
Now, can I come in now?
Okay, Mr. Manneh.
Yes.
Ako 20.
So we are going to be.
Ako sanya la pinyadro. The same nya. Emi borofo ya fulako. Ale dindi wonati wo. Ale kebaya nati wo. Atebe parere.
I don't find election petition I meant for. Manneh alonko election in election petition or in courts. 2 things like a win through evidence and technicality.
Ale ole win technicality.
Technique because it will fun because it be hammering. It mistake to be yalong ko lawyer jemu ika bakumen na they have lawyers.
That's not correct.
They mistake in the service.
That's not correct.
That's
not correct.
Technicality.
Let me come in now.
Technicality. Mr. Manneh.
Let me come in
now. Mr. Manneh. Yeah.
Mr. Mballow coming for. Niaje minkata 2021. Among repeat no parliamentary elections. I'm a repeat councillor and mayoral elections. It's because the system in place. Well, at Sunyaro minke 21, among Kiano Kotoke, and all will continue la. So ila Sunyaro would dantale. So that will not happen. So they can just jump and do whatever they like and say whatever they like. Pastef Jube in Senegal. Pastef copied our system to a great extent. What electoral casino in Senegal until the following day, before they give the results. By 9 p.m. Pastef, they knew who
everybody
already.
Knew, yes.
It's going to happen here. We're going to know the election results by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. They wouldn't be able to keep it till the following day and cook the results. That wouldn't happen.
No. But
okay?
On the spot,
I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. Secondly, I'm going to so even America, no government worth its salt will tell ila banku dingolu manyen keno be dunya be lo koleari ite be ka wuli somanda fo dimbaye ko bi de kontonti jam na simati ma ko be koleari you don't say that Mr. Mballow be ka wala fal dimbaye bi kontonti jam bi ka dunya be koleari you go and sweat for it and bring it for your people. I don't do it either. Government la responsibility munati ye katoke fo ila dimbaye ila citizens nyolu ila bado solo ya, and we can do that if we give priority to agriculture and make sure that our food that we eat is cultivated here and produced here. Why are we starving in this country? And if you do that, you make sure that every year we will save $200 million in food imports. We do import substitution. The farmers will not be poor in this country anymore. We keep saying that. If we put the right policies in place, the farmers are going to be the rich people in this country. If you tell the go back to the land, they won't go back. Well, they fell whole deal. You give them modern implements, they go farm and they become rich, and they will invest in this country, empower them. And that is what is going to happen in this place. So that government, okay, they will feed their people. Rwanda has a heli country. When this Ukraine war started, Kagame came out, this is a shame for the African continent. We cannot keep staying here and blaming our hunger and starvation on the war in Ukraine. This from 2 years from now, Rwanda will not import any more food. He mobilized $5 billion and invested it in agriculture. Botswana is another African country that's doing great. Cape Verde here next door is doing extremely well. Why are we always saying Dunia Bela Koleari does not have to be that Gambia will just fold our hands with Dunia Bela Koleari. We go out and fight. I don't tell my family, I fight to put food on the table. And that's what we're asking this government. We're telling them, fight for the Gambian people and put food on the table and make it affordable. Ningaman, Dokuja, Hali Pachar, and all of those places around that area, from URR all the way to CRR and even the combos. We can sell a bag of rice for $1,000. It's not 2,250 as American rice is going right now. We have started it. What we see is the price is going up, not coming down.
Hamidou Jah,
Let's talk about Hamidou Jah. Let's talk about Hamidou Jah. You guys went to contract a $50 million loan and you give it to one person.
Fatou,
to one person.
Give me 2 years here. Mano jang, mota order. Jang.
You take $50 million, you give to one person. That favoritism is what we are complaining about.
Binakan, everything binakan. Side they are clear. Go to Kiang area.
Yeah.
Go to Pakaliba.
Now, Mr. One last thing left in Natila.
Just to finish on that.
Yeah.
What we expect from this government, instead of daydreaming that they're going to win in 2026, is in the 2.5 years to 2026 elections, do what is required to make the livelihood of Gambians better, to make it easier for every Gambian, to make it easy for people to survive and to take care of their families. They are comfortable, but the majority of Gambians are not comfortable. And you see, it is that discrepancy. Of course they all are. You have free cars. Yeah, you have free cars, free fuel, free housing.
New York City. Aboko tubako,
yeah, right.
Don't say I'm saying to
because I'll give him that. Don't blame me for saying the wrong things here. I'll give that. I wouldn't mind about that.
Mr. Man,
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I want us to look at the cement issue quickly because it's very important. Now, government here, more min ka cement oboni nang Senegal, price all from $30 to $180. There've been a lot of back and forth from these importers. Min carbon in Senegal, they have raised a lot of concerns because they're trying to favor local people like the jar oils and the salams and others. And then you hear other quarters for Uncle Look. At some point, we have to protect local businesses and empower them. I'm all in for protecting local businesses and empowering them. Look. I've said this several times. Janteko mansakunda ka incentive mindi ni other business balla ibe tax waiver deal and fenkol ntol business ningol bukoje. I am all in for that, but I also think it should be done strategically to the way me along ko fanang atatina la consumer sol fanay bata. Because nga reports je kununko point newspaper koko cemento start ka sele dula dolto. Ja oil ni salami ya follow they can produce to supply everybody. Bari inte ambe do ko la nyiwato kono. Bari there is a cement, not ja oil, but cement do bije. Ndela masongo ka funye ko kana wosa. Ka funye boy jenda ja oil wara bu joge Senegal akolo fany. Wo cement do ka funye kana sang. And don't consumers should have choice. Quality and also price is important. Now, I am all in for supporting local businesses. Ke empower, ka silol di la min batin na itol fanang because kodo e si jang wole ben na economy mako la ni inflation o min bekaje is because mantra finjamal produce kanja. So I'm all in for that. But it should be done strategically miya lonko fanang ate banku dingol fanam batandila because na train lafa minu kana tina ya jo e cemento da lafa at that point ite control sotonola ibela cemento wa felamin andu niya wafi wo fanana at the end of the day ntol min basanna abekela ntol fane problem because minu bijang foi ben tol fane be supply nola so nyimu fenleti miya lonko foka jube abekela no nyadile ka fengo. Why did government just do this abruptly like that and just raise? I mean, the raise nimfana Seattle de about $30 to $180. I can understand from 30 to 60.
600% increase.
You know, 30 to 60 or 30 to even 80. But it 30 to 180, Mr. Mballow, what for Seattle demanding?
I understand they were looking. People complain, and I think there was a standoff at the border.
Yes.
I mean, the last time I heard of this thing. At the border in Bara area.
In Farafenni.
In Farafenni area.
Yes, Farafenni.
And I think the Ministry of Trade, they were looking into it. I don't know. I didn't update myself on the issue.
Okay.
But I understand the report came there and they were working on how to address the issue.
Okay.
I think they would address the issue, whatever fits the interests of Gambians would be adhered to. I know that.
Mr. Manneh?
I am extremely disappointed by that decision.
Okay.
The Gambian small businessman who has 1 truck or 2 trucks and who is importing cement from Senegal and feeding his family and his small community with that, whose brother probably in Europe took his life savings, sent it him to here, buy a truck and feed the family, so I don't have to send money every time from Europe. Or some people who contracted loans, because I know these people.
Yeah.
Some people contracted loans here on the local market through the banks to buy these trucks. And now you raise that tax on their imports by 600%. And worse still, on the day that President Jomai came here on the state visit, that's when this happened. So I would have thought that people like Mballow, his political advisors, will tell him, Mr. President, this is the wrong time to do this. The timing was extremely wrong.
But you don't think that's the right thing to do? Timing, because Mr. Manneh,
but
Senegal.
When you were supporting Macky Sall all your life, and then Macky Sall's opponents come to power, and that is when you choose to raise imports from Senegal by 600%.
Because you want to provoke a conversation. Because for me, I was saying...
I don't think you want to provoke a conversation.
Because, for example, because some of the manufacturers were complaining to Senegal, Gambia. Number one, I've said this on my show several times ago, Mansakunda should take this advantage, say Senegal, Mansakunda engage, because I believe that trade agreements are not right. I believe that Senegal is advantageous more, it will like a benefit more than us. So this is the right time to provoke that. You can have Nigeria because I do Senegal.
Let's talk about that. The ECOWAS Treaty and the ECOWAS protocols, and the African Continental Free Trade Area, the treaty, they all have provisions for protecting local fledgling industries. Okay? But that is to protect industries. We do not have a cement industry. We have a cement business in this country. So these people go import cement in bulk, and they bag it here, and they sell it. So that is not an industry. And those protocols and treaties protect industries. Or if you bring it in and you add a certain amount of value to it locally, that qualifies for the rules of origin. We call it the rules, ROOs. That qualifies under that as a local national product, and you can protect that. But that does not happen in the cement industry. So they can spin it however they like in Jar Oil and their people. It's not true. Cement is not an industry in this place, it's just a business. So Senegal is not obliged to comply with that because the treaties don't cater for that. They talk of water, that we cannot export water to Senegal, even water to Senegal, or sugar. I hear that all the time. We don't have a sugar industry. Senegal has a sugar industry in Richard Toll.
But we have bottling company water.
Let me finish it. Senegal has a sugar industry in Richard Toll, and they are entitled to protect that industry against re-export trade. Okay? According to the protocols again, the water we have here, what was the issue? Senegal's issue with the water was that we have to all maintain the same standard. I am Gambian. I am not fighting for Senegal. I'm fighting for the truth. Let's do the things according to the rules and the laws. That's how we can fight it and defend our corner. If we are emotional, if we go about things and just circumventing the law, we will not win our case. To win our case, we have to go by the law. If we want to force Senegal to accept water from our country or any product that we have here, very few products, okay? If we want them to comply with that, there are certain basic norms and standards you have for production. Water production, Senegal's argument was what? The level of biochemical controls in the water is not what is required to be. And this is our standard. And this is the standard at the international level. Bring yours to that level, and you can export to us anytime, any day. And that's what we need to do. So we don't need to fight, no, Senegal, raise our standards. But the problem we have is that often we are content with mediocrity. We have to move away from mediocrity and shoot for excellence. We can do it. It doesn't take so much to do these things here. But we do not have even those industries in place. When we had the issue with fish here, when they were using that insecticide, what is the name again?
It's the smoke fish thing,
Yeah.
We had to go to Senegal to test it.
They took it to Senegal to test it there. When the medication was having problems here and the kids were dying, they had to take it to Senegal and India and other places to test it. We do not have those laboratories here to do the testing. Let's install those laboratories and put in the standards in place.
Mr. Manneh, we have those. Mr. Manneh,
if we do that, we will be able to export to Senegal and any other ECOWAS country or any other African country.
Yeah, I have 5 minutes.
In place.
Yeah, please.
5 minutes, Mr. Manneh.
It's late already.
Yeah, 5 minutes, yeah.
I mean, what Mr. Manneh is saying, I mean, he might not know what is happening right now, but let me tell you, this government has ordered machines.
Ordered.
Okay.
Yes.
These machines are already here. They are ordered, they came.
They are not operational.
Even the legs, the drugs, now they can test a lot of things. We used to go to Dakar, they used to send them to Dakar. Now you can do it here. Already the machines are here installed. You understand all these testings that he is talking about, the water and the like. Within short time, they will no longer go to Dakar. Take it from me.
Okay, they will no longer, but it's not the case yet.
Okay. But it has been the case, first time.
Oh, come on.
Everything here, a lot of things. When I came back into this country, I was surprised. A lot of things, they would tell you that even to have a scanning, dialysis, you go to Dakar. Go to RVH today. How many dialysis machines came? More than 40. Brand new. Go and ask them. They are all going to be installed throughout the country. You go and ask them tomorrow. Go and ask. You are a journalist. Ask them whether they have that. X-ray machines.
40 dialysis machines.
About 40 dialysis machines are ordered. They are already in the country.
And they are brand new, whatever you call it.
Okay.
But whatever
X-ray machines are available. They are all going to be installed.
Okay.
A lot of things that people used to go and have to do in Dakar would be available here.
Saihou Mballow, watu banta kakal fama jang.
So this government is not joking.
This government is not joking.
Yes.
But domoro alakata wetala.
Wobekela.
Kaspa wetala.
Wobekela. Ni alason.
Kurango betea.
Dua drong amamme hani divin ngamire ya jele kunung Ibrahima Sankare repraises about helping the disabled and also the disadvantaged. The 8 million. You have seen that. So we are doing effort.
That is an entitlement for those people, and I will not applaud you for that. Because that is, they pay their taxes for that.
Man, whatever we do, he will.
No. You see what our problem is? You give us our entitlement and expect us to clap for you. No.
We are not saying you clap.
No.
We are not saying you clap.
You build roads.
But acknowledge that is available and we are doing it. But we are doing what we are supposed to do. We are not saying you clap.
Well, for this one.
But acknowledge.
For this one.
They are doing this. Is what their responsibility.
I acknowledge it. If it's true, I acknowledge it and it's good.
I'm telling you, honestly, it's true.
But I'm not going to applaud you for it because it's something you should do.
Yeah.
But the dialysis machines that you're boasting about as well, you can bring in brand new dialysis machines into these hospitals. But if you do not have in place the medical personnel.
We have the trained personnel from India. They all went training. They were in India and Turkey. Go and ask, Mr. Manneh, you are a politician. When I was in the opposition, I used to do my research. When I asked them in the UDP, I was the Secretary General. I go and find out votes. Before I criticize the APRC, I make sure that I have it in black and white. And I tell them this is not done.
How do I know all the things I'm telling you about here? Do you think we don't do?
How come you didn't know that their machines are here?
I didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
You should have done your homework.
The ministry
to find out from the hospital what do you have, what you don't have.
We will talk about the hospital when we come again.
Do you think your hospitals don't have enough products of their own?
You see, even these new health centers, you didn't know how many beds, what they have, whether they have antenatal, and you didn't know that.
Mr. Manneh,
that's his problem. You don't do things that you're supposed to do, and then you do one of them, and then you expect that we will be clapping for you. You build 3 clinics in the country, and then you want us to applaud for you. And MRC Holland builds schools. You take it under your and you say we build 10 schools. Give us a break. We know what's happening.
Okay, fine.
Mr. Mballow, may program was running into what
see him again.
What over the program was running into?
Huh?
You have to money for
I have
for a bad what over Telesine.
Well, I mean, for definitely, let me thank him very much for having this dialogue with him today.
Yeah.
And thank you also for accommodating us as a medium house. This is what we expect from you people. And if I have said anything that hurts you,
can you stop calling me UDP?
Huh?
Because you called me UDP before.
So I will withdraw that. Now you are not UDP. that is what hurts you. You are not
No,
UDP.
it didn't hurt me though.
Okay,
I wear that with a badge now because that's when you people call me. So I wear it with a badge.
Okay, you are not. I withdraw that word.
Okay.
I withdraw it.
Okay.
You are not UDP. You are Kerr Fatou.
Okay.
So I thank you very much for inviting me here. Although I have been coming here having programs,
with the brunch,
but not with you. With the brunch, Lamin Cham and others, and Demba D.A. Jao and other people. You know. But I have never had any program with you. I thank you. I thank Mr. Manneh also for defending on the undefendable. That is, you know, I mean, he has tried to defend their activities, what they are saying, what they feel, they think is the right thing, which is not the right thing. He's just trying to defend. So, but I mean, it's good that he's standing on the ground on what he believes. That is the UDP policy and programs. But then, I am telling him that what happened in Repatriation of 2021 is on the way. That's all I can tell him. So let him get ready. Let him stop dreaming.
Mr.
Manneh,
what over there? I will stop dreaming. What over there?
Yeah. So, you know, same thing. I'm glad that he has this openness to come and discuss.
Yes, he does.
If they do more of that, they would stop calling you Kerr UDP and all whatnot. This media house is open to everybody.
Yeah.
You should tell your colleagues to come more here and discuss. You will stop castigating them. You will stop trying to muzzle the press. Because when the press doesn't say what you want them to say, you give them 40 million or you try to muzzle them. That doesn't work. Okay? So let's do the right thing. By coming here and discussing. You see, I didn't bite you, I didn't kick you, we didn't do anything fast, we didn't bite you. So we can come here and talk civil and talk policy and economic sense. We can do that. And the Gambians will make up their own minds. And this is what we want in this country. When we come here to discuss these things, we want to make sure that the Gambians know the reality on the ground and they will make up their own minds. And we know they will make up their own minds and they're going to kick you out of office in 26. So your daydreaming will end in 2026 because you're not going to get there anymore. So when that happens, what I want is for you guys to start doing the right things. Because I want to meet you in the street someday, you know, 2026, end of 2026, or 2026.
Invite him for coffee? Invite him for coffee?
Yeah. Invite him for coffee. I want to do that.
Well,
I don't want him running away like the Senegalese guys are doing in front of Pastef. I want them to stay here. And we have coffee together. We have Nyeleng and whatever together. That's what we want for this country. And we can do that if we have these kind of discussions, if we can confront our ideas and tell the country what is happening and let the people make up their own minds.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Fatou, for offering us a
platform.
Thank
you very much, Saihou. Thank you, Mr. Manneh. This is a very interesting conversation. I hope Saihou Mballow kakal farmer jana, kakal da Lamin chami adama.
No.
Because this is very interesting.
You have never invited me.
No, invited me Santo. You asked me APRC. Saihou Mballow nyam ite APRC in power. Wolka police, wolka arrest. Akata ake castigate in the media. That's how No, you don't run away from the media.
I don't run away from them.
But thank you very much
because
for coming.
It makes people to know Imam Mellon.
Imam Mellon.
How will we know what is their plan? Ipareta menna, ilbedoko menna. He can say it will find a project Mellon, what they are doing. People will know.
Definitely.
Now it's left to the people to decide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and to the team, thank you. Good night to you all. See you again. Bye.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we look forward to greater achievements, we are rebranding to reflect who we are today and the future that we inspire. Our new logo has been designed to visually demonstrate our Gambian heritage and the sophisticated nature of the bank. We are moving away from the navy and gold-colored parallelogram-shaped logo to our baobab tree with a rising sun in the background. The striking outline of a baobab tree at sunrise is a familiar sight to anyone who has spent time in the Gambia. Our new logo and visual identity are inspired by our core values and spirit of being a pioneer in providing a unique banking experience. It is a completely new look that better matches the transformation we have made as a company. But we remain your trust bank. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to present to you our new logo and corporate identity.